Oh, yeah. I am awake and alive.
I'm so great I gotta say it twice and cut it out once. My head's a syrup bottle that's getting tipped over every Wednesday. You're a storyteller in a storytelling podcast, and the only story you're telling now is a story about stories you don't want to tell! What the fuck? Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. This is the third attempt at this, folks. Lily's like, hey, are you ready? I said, yeah. And then all of a sudden there was a fucking throat goblin that showed up, so I couldn't talk. And then the second one, I said the wrong intro. I said the wrong thing. I didn't say my name, which is very important. Yeah, because, look, if you're listening to the show, you need to know my name, right? It needs to be the first thing that I say. Although it isn't, because I say, hey, what's happening? So I have a salutation for you folks, and then I unveil who I am. So there's a nice greeting, and then you know who I am. It's on the table. Hey, how's it going? I don't say, how's it going? What if I said, how's it going? That'd be awful. Hey, what's happening? That's what I say. God damn it. I can't even remember the open of the show 5 seconds after it happened. I don't know. You know, this happened to me last week, folks. All right, let's get into this for just a second. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's look into our iPad vaginas. Let's stare eye to eye and cover this topic. Last week, I started to talk about something and then wound up in Batgirl's house. I don't know how it happened. I had other things, like not really other things. I really had nothing to talk about, but I started off on a tangent in the beginning because a listener of the show, one of our friends, said that because I was talking about having no money, and they wrote me and they're like, hey, you know, you have no money. You should start thinking positive thoughts and putting it out there into the universe, and then you'll get money. And Karen has said that too, like, because she wants to buy Powerball tickets, and I'm like, why are you playing the poor person's stock market? It makes no sense. And she's like, we're gonna win one day, and you're gonna be so mad. I'm like, why would I be mad if we won? But you know what? She's not wrong. She's absolutely not wrong. If we won, I'd still be like, God damn it! I told you to stop buying those tickets. All right, let's split this, and I'm leaving. Because I don't want to hear her response. I have no interest in hearing her response. If I say that to her, I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and split this money and I'll take off because I first I have to scold you for buying the tickets, but then thanks for giving me a settlement, and then I'll disappear and she'll never see me again. Because I don't want to hear her response to that. I don't want her to have to be able to go, see, I told you so. I can't live with that. If we win the Powerball or we win the Mega Millions, I can't live with the I told you so hanging over my head. I'll take my half of the money and quietly slink away into the night. That's what I'll do. I can't bear to be scolded. I can't bear every single time we do anything nice with that money. We'll be in Hawaii on the beach. We'll be in fucking Bora Bora if it still exists. I don't know, in history class. I have no clue if it is. It might have gotten tsunami if it even existed before. Isn't that a disease? That's a disease, right? I think it is. Don't you get like shots for that? Or that's no, that's beriberi. That's what it is. I'm very mixed up, folks. Anything with a double B. I'm lost. Bunny Blue. Anything with, you know what, Bunny Blue. How about that? An 80s porn star. You got to get shot for that. Believe me, if you got Bunny Blue, you definitely had to have shots for that, folks. Let's talk 80s porn stars. Let's do that. Why not? Let's bring that up. See, now I'm off the topic of what I was talking about from last week. This is how it works. Because then I heard from that fine person, and they were like, you started it, and then you disappeared into Batgirl's house. I'm like, yes. She said, I think she said, you started to say the open, and then off you went. That's what she said. Which made me laugh. Which is actually, we should call that should be the name of the show, really, when you think about it. Fuck the 40-year-old boy. It should just be, and off he went. But as far as looking forward and projecting things and making sure that things are going to work out in the future, my friend said that I should change the opening of the show for once, to like put positive vibes out there. So to say something like, hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, $40 Million Boy Podcast. Ooh. Look at that. See? So now I'm destined to win something, right? And then split because I can't deal with the I told you so. That's solid ground for me, right? To just go ahead and get a divorce because we won the Powerball and I don't want to have her telling me I told you so every time we do something nice with the cash. Go to a restaurant, I order a steak, and she's like, there's a reason you got that steak. Because someone went ahead and played the poor people's stock market. I'm leaving. Although that might be her elaborate plan, too. She just wants to win the thing and just go, yeah, we're finished. We are absolutely finished. No more do you get to tell me how to tune my radio. You don't get to tell me what to do with my phone anymore. You dick. And I can't blame her, folks. Why not? Cut me loose. All right. And you too. Let me go. Why not? Hey, let's talk about this, folks. Let's talk about things I won't eat. Yeah. That's right. Lily, astonished by that topic, by that turn of events. I can't believe you got your nose out of Facebook there just to notice me for that second. Because you know why? Here's why. Because I've been thinking about it. Look, look. We always talk about what I will eat, right? We all discuss that, and I will eat pretty much anything. And there are things that I have eaten. There are things that I will eat in the future. There are things that I do eat. There are things that I will eat forever. I think we all know, folks, what's on that list. But you know, I've eaten pig ears and stomach. I've had all sorts of weird shit, and I've told you all about it. But I've finally, there's something I won't eat, folks. I've decided there's a thing, and I watch the Food Network, and they show up occasionally, and I'm willing to give anything a day in court. All right, food wise, I'm eating courtroom sushi. I'm eating fucking tacos off a truck. I'm eating anything that's kind of like we have stuff in our fridge. We had something in the fridge for like 10 days, like leftovers from a restaurant. And Karen's like, "Oh, this is garbage now, right?" And I'm like, "No, throw it in a frying pan with some butter. That's gonna be fine." It's just, I said it was cooked. That was the thing. That's the thing that drives me fucking crazy about Karen with leftovers. All right, she sees leftovers, and after a day, she wants to throw them away. I'm like, they were cooked. You're not Ben Franklin, all right? You're not inventing fucking salt curing. These are things, and I think I've talked about this before, because honestly, our fridge will have leftovers in it, and then we continue to go out to eat. Like last night, there was a ton of, and I even said to her, God damn it. We went to Thai barbecue the other day. And, all right, here's more of Mike Schmidt, bad husband. Here's another episode of Mike Schmidt, bad husband. We were trying to figure out where to go and what to eat. And as you all know, I play this game with my wife, this game of chicken, where I will say, I will go wherever you want to go. And then if she picks a place that I don't want to go, I will go and I won't order food. Sure. I will get her order first, and then I will order for her, and I'll go, that's it. And she'll go, you're not eating? And I'll go, no. And then she'll immediately call the waiter over and cancel it, and we'll have to leave in a huff until we go to a place that I like. Oh my God. I've done that on occasion. It's not a good thing to do, folks. It's very passive and certainly aggressive. But I've in my head, I've made myself stop doing that. Like I don't like doing that because I just want to go eat. I just want to go spend some time with my wife and not think about it. But here's another thing too. There's a place that I really like that I would eat every single day. All right. There's a place called Hyatt's Kitchen. I've taken Lily there. They have a nice grilled trout. They have shish tawuk dinner. I like Mediterranean food. I like the flavors. I would eat there every single night. Well, Karen would eat there every single month. She really likes it, but she's not a person who can eat at the same place over and over. And to me, it just takes another, you know what? It's the sign of genius. Let's go ahead and talk about that for a second, folks. I was just reading about that. There are geniuses, and they will, every single day, they will have the same thing for breakfast. They'll eat at the same place for lunch and the same thing for dinner. If they eat 3 meals a day, sometimes they're catnapping on their couches in their laboratories. Do you like the way I said laboratories there? I got caught up. I didn't know. I tricked my brain. I didn't know if I was going to say lab coats or laboratories. So I had the extended A there. I was like laboratories. That was very Wooderson from fucking Dazed and Confused. I like these girls. I get older, they stay the same age. I remember seeing them in their laboratories. Jesus Christ. Party at the Moon Tower. All right, so folks, Jesus Christ, stop. McConaughey's lost 1 million pounds. Have you seen him? He's playing. He's going Christian Bale on us, folks. He's playing an AIDS guy in a movie. And by the way, that sounds like a superhero. That is the worst superhero of all time. AIDS guy. Although you don't want to be his enemy, I'll tell you that, because that fight is ending poorly for you. And honestly, even if you win the fight, it ends poorly for you. You beat him to a bloody pulp. What happens? Covered in AIDS guy's blood. That's bad. That's terrible. And I don't care if Carpesi sarcoma guy comes along and tries to fight him. He even has a terrible time. All right, so Carpesi, Scorsese. You know what you don't want? Scorsese sarcoma. Oh my God, it's terrible. You wind up getting open sores in the shape of Joe Pesci. Holy shit, it's terrible. Folks, I'm doing a cheerleader move you can't see. God damn it, that's great. Scorsese sarcoma. Oh, man. Scorsese sarcoma. All right, so you wind up with festering wounds that look like Ray Liotta. Oh, and by the way, how could you know the difference? You seen Liotta these days? Holy shit. That guy looks like a bad orange. All right, the fuck was I talking about before I said the funniest thing I've ever said in my life? Scorsese sarcoma. Jesus, that's awesome. Right? We're going to need a sketch on YouTube. I just want to hire a makeup guy to make me a festering wound that looks like fucking De Niro from Taxi Driver with the mohawk in silhouette. God damn, that's perfect. All right. So,
Losing weight and being like Christian Bale.
McConaughey
Yes.
is losing a ton of weight. AIDS guy. That's where I was. He's playing an AIDS guy in a film, folks. But before that, there was something. God damn it. See, folks, this is the problem. I start talking. All of a sudden, and I was talking 80s porn stars. We segued from that, for fuck's sake. I don't know why they even came up. Oh, they did, because of Bunny Blue. By the way, let's welcome all the new listeners on board who are obviously tuning in for the first time and tuning out immediately because you're wondering where the other three funny guys are. I did Scarborough County last week. And you know what's funny to me is they started with Scarborough Country. And I think Randy and Jason decided they wanted to do a second show because I will tell you this, podcasting is addicting. And when you think you have things to say, you wish you had an outlet, and podcasting provides it. But if you do it once a week, you're like, oh, I got to save all that for then. But they decided, fuck it, we got to have 2 shows a week, which makes complete sense because there's 2 guys. The fuck? They got twice the ideas to get out into the ether, folks. They need 2 shows, for fuck's sake. So they invited me to do their show, and they had Scarborough Country, and then they had added Scarborough County, which is a shorter version of Scarborough Country. So they put them out each once a week. And I laughed because they invited me to do Scarborough County, and then I Twittered it about it, and I put it on Facebook, and then people were writing me, and they're like, oh, well, I wonder if you'll ever do Scarborough Country, too. Like it was my fault for making a typo for putting Scarborough County. Because there are people who didn't know. Because even on their page, even on their Facebook page, they'll say, Mike Schmidt visited the county this week. And some guy's like, when did the country become a county? Whatever. Like, no, dude, that means you don't listen ever. Because this was the 20th episode of Scarborough County. They do them both. You don't get to make fun of them on their page if you don't get the premise of the bit. You dumb fuck. And look, you might be a fantastic guy, and obviously my appearance on the county has forced you to tune in here. So I don't mean to call you a dumb fuck to your face, to your ears. I don't mean to call you a dumb fuck right in your ears. This is even worse to your face. If I walk up to you in the street and I go, dude, you're a dumb fuck, you'd just be like taken aback. But right now, my earbuds, they're jammed. Right now, you have tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds jammed into your ears. I'm in your brain, and I'm calling you a dumb fuck. How sad is that? That's awful. If you're that one guy, I'm not calling all of you dumb fucks. I wouldn't do that. And by the way, how is this new guy who came over from Scarborough County this week listening to me on tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds? It makes no sense. Unless he heard me that day and went right to my website and said, holy shit, this guy has earbuds with his own fucking deal. And he ordered them right away. And then they shipped them immediately. And then he listened to them now. Why am I putting together this guy's life of the past week? He wrote a mocking comment, and then he listened to me, and he liked me, and he placed an order immediately. He sat in his house, waited for the UPS guy to show up, and now he's got those in, and he's listening to me right now on a Thursday. God damn it, sir. Good choice. If you're going to add one more podcast to your podcast regimen, one more podcast to your playlist of podcasts that you listen to every week, I'm glad to be the one. I look forward to your mocking comments on my Facebook page. I thought you said you did a 4-hour show. This show was only an hour and 11 minutes. That's a lot of ones. Hour and 11. 11. It used to mean something in the beginning. Year 1, I think it was. Go listen to year 1, folks. Buy year 1. It's available. There was a point. There was a time. What was it talking about? You're in charge of this. Oh, Lily Von Stupp. That's the producer of this show, Lily Von Stupp. She's all hoity-toity today because she did a podcast today. Some comedians invited her to be on their show, and she's like, and they didn't even know about me. That was the best part. They have no idea I even exist. These guys are podcasters who have no idea that I do a podcast. They don't even know that she produced a podcast. They saw her in the burlesque world, folks. They saw her in her burlesque. I got to put the R in there. They saw her in her burlesque habitat, and then lured her. I can't even talk. R's are giving me trouble. Ever since Scorsese sarcoma. I've been a little tongue-tied. All right. Because my tongue knows it will never say anything better, and it's shutting itself down. My tongue is like, you know what, dude? That's the funniest thing ever. I'm going on strike. You ever see a cartoon where a guy's tongue leaped out of his mouth and ran away? That just happened to me. I am right now. I had to borrow Lily's tongue to do this. That's right. Lily's tongue is in my mouth as I form these ideas. That's why you can only hear Lily being mute in the background. What? Stop talking. All right. See, this is what happens, folks. When you just talk, you start peeling the onion, you figure out what the fuck's going to happen, and you go nowhere. You go nowhere with this. Really? We're doing 5-minute increments now? Lily usually holds up numbers to tell me where we're at, and what if you did it every minute? That'd be perfect. Hi. There was a point. There was something I was talking about before I got into that dude who hated Scarborough County.
You were talking about him losing weight and doing AIDS Man.
That's right.
But I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know how I got to McConaughey. You know why? Because I said laboratory.
That's right.
Right? And I was talking about geniuses.
Yes.
Oh, because you know why? Because they always eat. They know what they're going to do. Because it takes one more thing. How funny is that? It sounds like you just wound a robot up, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like literally, an android was down, and then all of a sudden he remembered what he's going to do, and he's going to go ahead and talk really fast. It's like you put more quarters in me, and so now I realize where I was going to go. That's fucking hysterical. All right. I'm like the Zoltar machine in Big. It's like I'm just sitting there like fucking quiet, and then I remember what I was supposed to fucking say, and boom, ha ha ha, and all of a sudden look down there, folks. Right now, look down at your feet. There's a card with your future, or fortune or future, same thing. Yeah, both, right? Although, God, fortune cookies are awful now. What happened to them? And by the way, stop putting tea in your fortune cookies. That pisses me off. Look, I'm not a connoisseur of cookies. All right. Well, maybe some cookies. No, I'm not a cookie guy. Honestly, if cookies are there, I eat them. But I don't. Well, because again, I'm a fucking fat monster. That sounds like the dumbest thing in the world. If cookies are there, I'll eat them. As if I were to sneak up on them and they did not know I was in the room. How about that? What if you know what? Don't invite me to a cookie convention because there won't be one left. And by the way, when I said that, I thought people knew, like I meant a convention of cookies having a convention. Like I didn't mean like a baker's convention. In my head, it was totally clear that I meant a convention hall filled with cookies having a meeting, and then I would come in and eat all of them like the Godzilla who just destroyed everything, like this mass murderer. But now I have to explain to people because I realize now, no, nobody's in my head. They can't see that I meant a cookie convention as if it were a convention of cookies gathering and having a meeting. All right. So, Jesus Christ, folks. You know what? I need 3 other people here to rein me in. This is the thing. People were writing me about Scarborough County. They're like, it was so cool to hear you talking to other people, but you didn't get to talk much. And I'm like, no, I talked the normal amount that normal people would talk if they were in a room having a conversation with other people. I mean, if you're alone, you got to do this. You know, you sit down and you talk about $40 million in the lottery, and then the next thing you know, you're eating all the cookies at a cookie convention. You're a fucking cookie murderer. That's terrible. I don't want to be that guy. I don't have blue fur. All right. So, folks, geniuses. They take everything off the table. They don't want to hassle with decisions. So that's why they'll wear the same clothes, like the same drab suit, and they eat the same food every day because their mind is so filled with ways to better our future that they don't want to be distracted. But my wife, however, has her own kind of genius, and that genius is, hey, let's get in the car and drive until we find something we like. My wife enjoys the genius of choice and free will and selection. I enjoy the drudgery of just going to one place, eating, and getting out of there. And this is the problem. This is why I'm fat. Okay, is I get into the thing that she does sometimes where food is, food should just be fuel. That's what geniuses think. They're like, food is fuel. It just gets you through and it keeps you alive. But I don't look at it like that. Like I said, I'm off gallivanting to trucks and other places, and I'm excited about different kinds of food and a sort of a foodie type of dude. And that's bad, man. You can't do that because that's when you wind up romanticizing and eroticizing food, and then you get crazy fat. Which I've done in the past and I'm doing again. And I'm going back and forth. Who knows? You don't care. Nobody cares. I'm on a yo-yo. I'm on a seesaw. I'm on a yo-yo? That doesn't make any sense. I'm yo-yoing. Yeah. It made me think of the Osmonds. You never heard the song Yo-Yo? Like a yo-yo! Yeah. So I got distracted there. Seesaw also made me think of the Osmonds. Because you never played Donny Osmond on a seesaw? Oh, it was great. What you do is you like go up and down, and then when you got down to the bottom, you leaped off, and you had your friend fall down, and his ass turned purple like Donnie's socks.
What the fuck?
That's a long way to go. I just made that up in the moment, and it wasn't worth it. Literally, like I shouldn't even be proud of that because there's honestly, and this is probably a careful estimate. I'm going to say 94% of you have no idea what I meant by that joke because I am trapped in my childhood television viewing. I don't know why. I can't escape it, folks. I bring you Kojak. I bring you Batgirl. I bring you the Osmonds. What the fuck? This is. I should just make a retro podcast and talk about those things. But then what would I do on this show? Holy shit. Actually, that's what this show is. We should just change the name of the show. And off he went to the 70s. Let's call it that. All right. There was a point. We were getting somewhere before the Osmonds showed up. I hated Jimmy Osmond. Oh, my God, did I hate Jimmy Osmond. I could not stand him. He was just, because I couldn't understand why he got to be in the band. Like, even at my age when I was little, because I think he was around my age. And he was awful. Like, it was so clear that he was terrible. But yet he still got to go on stage and sing with them. It was like the reverse Jacksons. Like, in the Jacksons, all the older Jacksons suck. And then Michael showed up and they're like, oh, we got jobs. Well, with the Osmonds, like all the older Osmonds were like an accomplished band and musicians and doing that. And then Jimmy was like, I want to sing. And Dad Osmond went, yep, Jimmy gets to sing. And they were like, fuck. That's why music should be more like sports. The Osmonds could have traded Jimmy Osmond to the Jacksons for Michael Jackson and a Jackson to be named later. Would have been a complete rip-off deal because what Jackson would they have gotten later? Janet. She came later. Holy shit. To get Michael and Janet Jackson in a trade for Jimmy Osmond? Who's the general manager of the Osmonds? He's a genius. The Jacksons franchise has never recovered from that trade. Oh, sure, Tito and Jermaine were thrilled. Jackie and Marlon very happy about it. They got to shine. They made fucking Jimmy dance in line with everybody else because he couldn't do anything special. He was a high-pitched cock. Nobody liked him. Meanwhile, the Osmonds team Donnie with Michael and then bring Janet in with Marie. Holy shit! The Osmonds dominate show business. That trade is amazing. That's the goddamn Kurt Schilling, Larry Anderson trade of music. That's the Herschel Walker trade of music. That's a better analogy. Literally, because the Cowboys they traded Herschel Walker to the Vikings for 1,000 draft picks. If you trade Jimmy Osmond for Janet and Michael, holy shit, the Osmonds would rule music forever. 26 rings. They're the Yankees of music. I don't know if they're giving out rings for music, but who cares if they are? The Osmond Jacksons are cleaning up. The Jackmans. God, Michael, Janet, Donnie, and Marie. Oh my God, what a foursome! What a monstrous foursome! All right, Jimmy Osmond and the Jacksons playing state fairs, furious. We need more trading in music. That's what we need. We need more trading. We need to open up bands. Bands should be like sports franchises, because then Van Halen could have traded David Lee Roth to Tool for Maynard. It would have been fucking amazing. Van Halen needs a new GM. They cut David Lee Roth and they pick up Sammy off the waiver wire, and they had success. It was a great pickup. There was no doubt it was a good pickup. That was like, you know what? That's like the Raiders picking up Jim Plunkett off of the fucking waiver wire and then winning 2 Super Bowls with him in 83 and 80. God damn, it's fantastic. All right. So if you're scoring at home, the Osmonds trading Jimmy Osmond to the Jacksons for Michael and Janet to be named later, a monster trade, a ridiculous trade. Certainly the most lopsided trade in the history of music. And perhaps the best waiver wire pickup ever was Van Halen when David Lee Roth left and they had to pick up Jim Plunkett as a free agent off the waiver wire. Actually, Van Halen didn't pick up Jim Plunkett. Oh my God, is that band awful? Holy shit. I got to be honest. I love Eddie and I love the music. And I tell you, I go see Eddie no matter who's there. If Jim Plunkett's the new lead singer, I think I have to bow out. No offense. I love you, Eddie. And actually, Jim Plunkett's the only guy that would have a more tragic background than like Eddie at this point. Because Eddie's got like a colostomy bag in his hip now. He's been all fucking drugged out. I think his body is just a hollowed out cavity filled with cocaine residue. Jim Plunkett had like his parents were blind. Like his mom was blind and his dad was deaf. And then at the Super Bowl, one reporter said, "Hey, is it blind mom, deaf dad, or deaf mom, blind dad?" That was like literally a question he got asked at the Super Bowl. Because reporters are great.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're look, they're on a deadline, folks. They're trying to get their stuff together. The picking up of Sammy Hagar is the picking up of Jim Plunkett off the waiver. God damn it. Sports need to be more like music. Music needs to be more like sports. All right. Well, it's like when you were a kid, because that's how you always thought, like, you thought bands could win a fight. Like when I liked Kiss, we thought they would beat people up because they were like, we thought they were genuine monsters. Like you literally thought, now, you didn't think they were monsters, but you knew they were guys, but you thought they were tough because the demon and he spit blood and all that kind. Because there was a story, when I was a kid, it was like, I'm sure you've all heard the Rod Stewart Seaman story, which is like the old. You've never heard that story? Don't you dare! You lie! You completely lie. You're as
Stuart Seaman story?
You're almost my age. Like we're very close in age, and you did not hear that story?
Almost your age. I'm older, aren't I?
Perhaps. I didn't know how much you wanted out in the public. I have no idea.
Almost my age if you weren't too old.
I'm just trying. I don't know what you want out there. I keep thinking I'm protecting you in some way, and I forget your phone number's on the web.
Do not call it.
Yeah, don't call her. But I always think I'm shielding you from something. Like I'm always trying to help you, and then it turns again, literally, there are half naked photos of you and your phone number on the internet. But then again, so what? You know what that makes you? A woman. Literally, in 2012, if your phone number's on the net and perhaps half naked photos, you're a lady. That's it. Google a name, you'll find it. I have a great story about that, and I can't tell it. Isn't it funny? I can't. Because there's no punchline to it. There's no punchline to that story. Fuck. All right, someday, folks, I'll figure out that punchline. So yeah, you're almost my age, and you don't know that story?
I don't know. I may have heard it, but I don't remember.
Wait a minute. All right, hold on a second. If I'm giving you the keywords of the Rod Stewart semen story, and you're like, I don't remember that story, I might.
I went out on tour in the 80s with bands.
True. Well then,
I have a lot of stories.
yeah, those bands are telling.
I could be that story.
Those bands are telling the Lily von Stupp semen story at this point.
No.
No, there was a story where Rod Stewart passed out before a concert, and then they pumped his stomach, and there was like a quart of semen in his stomach.
That is not true. That's not how that works.
Okay, you say that, but Rod Stewart has never denied it.
It's probably true.
There you go. I don't know if anyone's ever had the balls to go up and ask him about it, but I can tell you, you will?
Next time I see him.
Well, you're on tour all the time, as we know.
Not anymore.
We'll call in some of your old dudes. Call up Moby Grape. I'm sure they're waiting to hear from you. Karen almost did that once. Karen got hit on by a band. Ever tell that story on here? A guy in a band. Like, my wife. I love my wife. All right. When my wife was young, she was kind of sheltered, but she was really hot. Like, you know, my wife had a big rack at 12, like that kind of thing. So she was getting hit on all the time. You know, Lily knows. So she developed quick, but she was able to avoid the perils of cock until she ran into me. But then she wound up working at a hotel. This is when she was like 20, I think 19, maybe 18. She was 4. But again, so stacked they didn't care. She walked in, they couldn't even see her face over her tits, and they went, "You're hired." So she worked but she wound up working graveyard at this hotel, and so a band showed up, and a member of the band started macking my wife. And eventually, was trying to get her to tickets to the show and trying to get her to come, and then got her on the bus. And got her on the bus and made out with her. I think got second base. I think that's my guess. And then she shut him down. She was just like, "I can't do this. I'm not, But she probably would have. I always tease her. I go, "You would have." And she's like, "Well, no, it was morning, and I had to go home." And I'm like, "Well, if it wasn't morning, you would have hung out on the bus probably, and you would have gone to the show and all that." But if you ever see a smile on a member of Foghat's face, you'll know that they're thinking of my wife from 20 years ago. Or 30 years ago, right? 30? Yeah, about 28 years ago. You making a face?
I have a Foghat story too.
Do you really? See? This is Foghat, you whores. You know what? That's what I take from this. I take the fact that Foghat are fucking tramps. And not to be confused with the Tramps, who did Disco Inferno. And they were a great band until they traded their lead singer to Foghat for a bus and a cop of 2 feels on my wife and Lily. That's interesting. Well, you and my wife can commiserate about who you made out with in Foghat.
I have to talk to her about this.
Yeah. So don't think that doesn't get brought up every time Slow Ride comes on the radio. And anytime I Just Want to Make Love to You comes on, I'll do a slow burn and just look at Karen. Think they wrote this for you, hon? Shut up. Regretting everything she's ever told me because I forget nothing ever and won't hesitate to bring it up at the drop of a goddamn hat. The second I hear just the kick drum of Slow Ride start, I immediately look at my wife and she knows she is in for 4 minutes of hell. Depending on the radio station. If it's a classic rewind station, she's in for about 6.5 minutes of hell. She's got her fingers crossed whenever you do the poof, poof. She's like, "I hope this is the short fucking radio edit. I hope this is the radio edit." Because I don't want to get my balls busted about grabbing the cock on a guy in Foghat ever again. And she, you know what? She actually, they came back through town and she probably would have sealed the deal, except Foghat had already traded their lead singer to the Tramps. That was a controversial deal. You didn't get a lot of inter-disco rock trading. That's like when Chic traded Nile Rodgers to Judas Priest.
Awesome.
Yeah, he wouldn't report. He refused to report. Not because he didn't like the genre of music, but just he had a thing with KK Downing. They did not get along. You guys don't know about the long storied Nile Rodgers KK Downing feud? Oh, it's ugly. Thankfully, Glenn Tipton and Bernard Thompson sat them down and squared it away. They thought they were going to stab one another at the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But unfortunately, neither of them are in. Nile Rodgers has like 9 different kinds of cancer, too. Yeah. Including Scorsese sarcoma. Oh, these are not good times. These are not good times for Nile Rodgers. You know what? I don't even need you people here. Seriously, I do this. I love me. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you think. God damn it, I'm the greatest. These are not good times, Nile Rodgers. Son of a bitch. I wasn't going to do a show today. I swear to God. I picked out the clip last night. I had it all squared away. I was going to go, Lily, we got rained out this week because I have another show to do this weekend, for fuck's sake. But instead, look what I bring you, folks. I bring you an entirely new way to look at the music industry. God damn it, why can't bands trade guys? I don't even know if I got the Chic names right. I might have screwed that up. Did I say Bernard Edwards? I did, right? Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards? I hope so. You think so? You don't even care. You're so funny. You're just. I have no. Who cares? What are we gonna do? Cut it out? I can't cut out that genius. Who cares? Even if I got the name wrong, everybody knows what I meant. They all know who's in Chic. I'm that worried about it. Everybody else is just going, I don't know who Chic is. I wouldn't know who is in it. I got no clue. And I'm worried I got fucking Bernard Edwards' name right. Why not? He deserves it. The late Bernard Edwards. He deserves my tribute. He lived a long and fruitful life, stomping at the Savoy. Yowza, yowza, yowza. I'm talking about Bernard Edwards.
Oh my God.
Listen, folks, if I bring anything to you now, I bring this. Go vote for Chic for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They need to be in. Chic and Rush. Just vote them both in. Chic needs to get in just because they were, spared the indignity of having Nile being picked up by Judas Priest. Please, by all means. They stayed together tight as a band. They deserve to be in. I bring this to you. So then when I play Cleveland next year, I can go see the Chic exhibit by the bathroom. What a fucking hole. Whenever it's really, the visit there has changed my whole outlook on that, because I used to be like, this is this amazing award. It's so great. And then you walk in, it's like 9 conference rooms selling T-shirts and a poster of fucking Bob Dylan. Literally, that's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. God damn it. And CBGB's fucking overhang. That's there. All right. So go by year 5. That's the one we're in. You can't buy year 5. The trip to Cleveland was here in year 5, right? All right. Yeah, folks, wait. Get in your time machine. Go forward about 6 months. Buy year 5. Tell me how it turns out. Tell me how this show turns out. All right. Things I don't like to eat, folks. Now listen. There's a lot of things I will eat, as you know, and that's most of the show is me telling you what I will eat or what I have eaten. But now I've decided there's something I will not eat. It's something that's on the Food Network quite a bit. I see it all the time. And what's weird is I will eat a variation of this. But I will never eat this, ever. I don't care how it's cooked. I don't care who cooks it. You could get Grant Aschitz from Chicago to cook it up for me, and I would have to say I'm out. I can't do it. You could get who's that other girl that I like? God damn it. I must remember the names of all these chefs. Amanda Freitag. Oh, I love Amanda Freitag. Amanda Freitag is on Chopped all the time. And she used to be a chef at she was an important chef at a restaurant, I guess, but now she's building a restaurant, and now she's segued into being on Chopped, like that's her thing now, as opposed to being known for being a chef. One of my favorite things, there's this guy, Mike Voltaggio, and I follow him on Twitter. I told you I've been to Ink Sack, his sandwich restaurant. Oh my God, he makes a tuna sandwich with sriracha in it, like tuna salad with sriracha. So good. And then he makes a fucking... whatever, who cares? No one cares. All right, so these are the things I will eat, folks. We're back on that. I will eat sandwiches from Ink Sack with Mike Voltaggio. But the thing that cracked me up, Mike Voltaggio won Top Chef like 3 years ago. And then he traveled to India. He got some influences. He opened a restaurant here, a fine dining restaurant called Ink. And then he opened a sandwich place called Ink Sack. And I follow him on Twitter. And someone Twittered him the other day, and they were like, hey, how come you weren't on that Top Chef reunion show? And he answered them, because I was cooking in my restaurant. I'm like, I actually retweeted it because it was like such a refreshing answer. Like, yes, because he was doing the thing he's supposed to be doing. Because, look, I like Top Chef. And there was a dude on Top Chef that I actually liked, a guy named Fabio. He was very gregarious, and he was a fun chef, and he's really good looking. And he has a heavy Italian accent, so he's got that going for him, too. I mean, the guy's just got to be covered in pussy at all times. Literally when the Bravo cameras aren't on him, he just climbs into a giant vagina because that's where he belongs. He's like a walking lady's wet dream. Ladies of a certain age, in particular. Look, I'm sure all ladies find him attractive, but he teaches cooking classes by my house at his restaurant, and there's always clips online of the cooking classes, and it is always those tanned 48-year-old women whose husbands are busy at the office, like Beverly Hills lawyers, or they're real estate people to the stars, and they're all out doing their thing, making their money, and these women are home and they're bored, and you can only put your diamonds on and take them off so many times in a row before you start realizing, hey, there's a good-looking chef about a block away who teaches cooking classes, and I could get close to him. And so then they get all dressed up, and it's so funny because they're there ostensibly to make pasta, but they just want to be close to Fabio. So he's got that thing where it's just he's just catnip for old vaginas. You know what I mean? And it's just... And I'm not saying that young women don't find him attractive, you know what I mean? Or young men, or whoever the fuck he appeals to. I don't know. But I'm just saying that you can tell there are these kept women that are there learning to cook pasta only because they want to be close to Fabio. But the thing is, I like Fabio on the show, and Karen and I both, we were like, hey, he's great. We like that guy. And actually, I looked into taking the cooking classes with me and Karen going, except Karen found out Fabio was not in Foghat, so she put the kibosh on that immediately. I thought about it, but then because we like him on the show, but the problem is he's always on. Like he was on Top Chef, and then he was on like Top Chef Challenges, and then he was on Top Chef Revisited. And they keep going to Fabio because he's a television personality. They got on Top Chef because they were chefs. But then on the show, he stood out as a personality, so he's become that guy. Like his empire, like I've never eaten in his restaurant, okay? I want to. I thought about it, but honestly, his food doesn't interest me because he's more of a personality dude. Like on the show, he would always make gnocchi and he'd make red sauce. Like that's all he made. So in my head, if I went to his restaurant, I'd want to eat gnocchi with red sauce. That's the only thing I would be willing to try at Fabio's because I'm sure the rest of it has 48-year-old pubic hair in it from his hands. Because there's no way he's not finger blasting all these women after the cooking class. But the thing is now he's on another show, it's like after Top Chef. It's called, and it's like, no, it's not after Top Chef because you won't leave this man alone. Let him make a plate of pasta and gravy and see if he can be a cook again, for fuck's sake. But instead, he's got these clips like on AOL. And that's the thing is, when a guy's a shyster, no offense to Fabio, I'm sure he's good, and he's an immigrant from fucking, his grandma raised him. He probably walked around with cardboard shoes, whatever the fuck. So if he wants money, good for him. Sell out. There's no such thing as selling out anymore. But it did kind of turn me off to him and his brand because initially I liked him and I was like, oh, I'd like to go to his restaurant. And now I'm just like, this guy's a hack. And I don't care what kind of, and I will tell you this, he had a recipe for red sauce. Karen made it. It was amazing. It was so good. It was like the best red sauce ever. It was really good. And so I was like, oh, so the guy can make a red sauce. I wonder if he has a gnocchi recipe I can get my hands on. But after that, I just don't. He's a personality who happens to make food. But you know what? That's a description of anybody in the world with a kitchen and a pulse. Really? When you think about it, a personality who makes food? So he's on these shows now, and it's now after Top Chef. It's not after Top Chef because you won't let him alone. He was on 9 Top Chef incarnations, and now he's on after Top Chef. What's next? Like after Top Chef? Oh my God! Can you believe Top Chef is over? I can't believe it's not Top Chef. He's gonna be on all these fucking shows. Let the man make a sandwich for fuck's sake. He's a cook. How did I get on that?
Food you won't eat.
Right, but I was talking about food I do eat. But how did I get into Fabio?
The Twitter guy.
Voltaggio.
Cooking.
Okay. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Who cares? Do you guys care? Really? I mean, when you think about it, do I have to follow a narrative? Although last week I lost the narrative and then I brought it back for you. See what happens? If I fuck anything up, just write me and I'll bring it back next week. All right. If there's a show next week. Might not be a show next week, folks. I like to put that in the air now all the time, no matter what, because it gives me the possibility of taking a week off. I'm like, hey, there might not be a show next week. Don't be scared, country county comment guy. I'll be back next week. There's no way that guy's still listening. There's no way. He actually regrets even buying the earbuds at this point. He's so mad at himself. I can't believe I bought those earbuds. Sound unheard. But now he can use those tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds to listen to county and country and figure out the difference before getting all fingery with a goddamn typing comment. Typing comment? Snarky comment. Getting all fingery? Getting all typey. God damn it, I'm lost. Folks, foods I won't eat. I won't even if Fabio makes them. All right. I think that's how I got in the chefs. I said I wouldn't eat no matter what delicious chef made it. Grand Auschwitz. That's all right. There you go. And and I started talking about chefs who are on Chopped only and they become personalities. Whew. All right, folks. There you go. I've just backtracked and explained nothing that needed to be explained. It's funny. Amanda Freitag is on Chopped all the time, and I love her. I don't know why. So, but we'll watch Chopped, Karen and I, and when they, first they walk out the 4 chefs that are competing, and Karen and I have to pick our chef. We have to pick who's going to, who we're rooting for. And then they introduce the judges, and of course I yay and boo them because I don't like any of the judges really, except for Amanda Freitag. Whenever she comes on, I go, yay! I'm so happy that she's on, and Karen's like mad that I like Amanda Freitag. I don't know, she likes her too. I don't like Andrea Guarnaschelli. And I don't care for Aaron Sanchez. I do like Jeffrey Zakarian, but there's this fat dude. Oh man, there's this dude. He's a judge, and there's a guy named like Mike Murphy, I think, or I don't know. But there's other guy, and then there's Scott Conant. Why am I running down the roster of Chopped judges for you folks? I wish why can't TV shows trade guys? If Chopped could trade Amanda Freitag to Boardwalk Empire for Steve Buscemi, oh my God, how amazing is that? You get Nucky Thompson judging food. You got Amanda Freitag running booze. It's perfect. Yay. All right. God damn it. So there's a food that I've decided I will not eat. I see it all the time. They have it on Chopped all the time. It'll show up. And in other shows. And it's weird because, like I said, I will eat an incarnation of this. And now you're dying to know. You're wondering, what the fuck will this fat idiot not eat? Brace yourselves, folks. Here's what I will never eat in a million years. I don't care who makes it. Ostrich eggs. That's it. I see them all the time. I love eggs. I like an over easy egg with some rye toast. I like a scrambled egg. I like a breakfast burrito. I love eggs. But if you showed me an ostrich egg, I might beat you to death with it rather than let you prepare it for me. Because it's got so much egg. Like they have to crack it open with like an axe. I mean, it's that kind of thing where it's just this huge, it's like a medicine ball filled with cum and embryo. I mean, like I don't want that in my stomach. And the fact that you have to slosh it in, it's gigantic. The yolk, because again, you think, oh, well, it'll taste good because it's yolk and everything. No, chicken eggs are like, and I eat quail eggs. I eat quail eggs because they're tiny. They're little small ones. Like if a quail was the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, I wouldn't eat its fucking egg. I guess it's just the sheer size of the ostrich egg that fucking sends me running for the hills. But Jesus Christ, they bust it out, and the chef always makes this horrible face like, oh, Jesus, because they know they got to get it open, and you got to hack at it with a fucking hacksaw, and then when you open it starts to leak. It's, cracking an egg it's an elegant motion. You just bang, boom, and then you throw the shell away. You can do it with one hand, you can do it with 2 hands, whatever. But an ostrich egg, it's like a 9-man operation. Fuck, it was a 2 ostrich operation, for God's sakes. I think I would eat an ostrich before I ate ostrich eggs. And I mean like fight the live ostrich and kill it and then have to skin it and cook it myself. Because I've had ostrich burgers, lean, folks. And they just taste like burger. But, you know, if I had to actually wrestle an ostrich to the ground, and look, he's not going to see me coming, head in the sand. That's things I got to sneak up on him. But they probably hear your footsteps, right? That's part of having the head in the sand. Don't you hear a predator approaching? I've never watched like a, Ostrich Abbey. I don't know what they have. Do they have a show that tells you all there is to know about ostriches? Because folks, if I can just learn one thing, I just need to know how to learn to sneak up on an ostrich and kill it before it gets its head out and starts fighting me. That's all I want. I just want to wrestle it to the ground, subdue it, kill it, and eat it. Is that a problem? Is that really something? That's all I want with my life. I'm 45. That means I've got 9 years left to learn this trick before I shuffle off this mortal coil. Death by ostrich egg. That's how I planned it. And when I'm 54, I will just eat ostrich eggs until I fucking die. Yeah, and the thing is, they tell you eggs are bad for you, but then they're good for you, but then they're bad for you. That's chicken eggs, right? I mean, that's not ostrich eggs. There's no way they're putting ostrich eggs into the fucking mix there, because if you eat one ostrich egg, you have a heart attack immediately. It's a gigantic, you know what? It's like a hippity hop filled with yolk. Oh my God, it's disgusting. It's so huge and round and ominous and scary. It looks like an escape pod from a plane. You ever see Escape from New York? In Escape from New York, Air Force One is about to crash into the World Trade Center, and the president climbs into his escape pod. It's an ostrich egg. That's not even a joke. I don't think ostriches lay eggs. I think their babies climb into the eggshell and jettison themselves from their body. It's just they escape. It's Escape from Ostrich Island. That's the birth of an ostrich egg. So I won't eat them. This whole show was created for 4 years ago. 5 years ago was created just to tell you I would never eat ostrich eggs, folks. And I got to be honest with you. 5 years ago, I would have eaten them. This is how I've grown as a man. In our shared time together, I've decided that I am not on board with the ostrich egg. Eating it, painting it, looking at it. I don't even talk about it anymore.
You're listening to The 40-Year-Old Boy, and coming up later, I've never worn pants. The Seth Canfield story.
Oh, I'm Vic.
And I'm Vinny.
And we're the Screw Brothers. Come on down to our house of filth. We got plenty of adult toys we don't know what to do with. But I bet you know what to do with them. Stuff like
Baby House Lawn Job.
turn your cock black paint sets.
My friend Fisty.
Let's just cuddle dildos.
Anal Extravaganza.
Platypussy brand pussy lip extenders.
It's a jerk-off stopwatch.
We got the I Love My Wife ass stretching kit.
Hey, fans of the 40-Year-Old Boy, mention Mike and get a free Ape Cock 2000.
Open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Come on down to our house of filth. Remember, it ain't filthy.
Unless it's screw filthy.
Welcome back to Egg Talk with Mike Schmidt, folks. We are here discussing eggs, the band Chic, and 1980s porn stars. So I just want to make sure you're all... Caller, are you there? What's that? You want to have Barbara Dare make you an omelet while she listens to Good Times? All right, done. Barbara Dare. Holy shit, that's a name. Man, folks, look her up. No, don't. It's filthy. Don't look up Barbara Dare because it's filthy, but look her up if you want to see something filthy. She was on my wall in Tahoe. We had her up, her Hustler centerfolds up in the kitchen in the kitchen. That's the sign of a classy apartment. A couple of guys living there with 6 guys maybe with fucking Hustler centerfolds all over the wall in the kitchen. God damn it. Oh, but Barbara Dare was worth it. Barbara Dare. All right. So that's Bunny Blue and Barbara Dare. How many 80s porn stars can I squeeze into this goddamn show? Holy shit. It's perfect. Don't make me drop a Hayapeisha Lee on you folks. All right. There you go. There's 3. Keep count. Maybe a little contest. If I keep bringing them up, that's stupid. All right. Why do I have a contest every week? Who have I become? God damn, I'm not John Records Landecker. Just do a show. Jesus Christ. That guy was on when I was a kid. He probably still is on because in radio, they never age. They never go away. Inevitably, they just change with the format. Like John Records Landecker was playing like pop music when I was a kid, and I'm sure he moved on to like oldies later on, and now he might even be a talk show host now. I don't know what the fuck they do, but they don't get out of the business because why would they? They talk for a living. It's gorgeous. If I can get paid to talk for a living, Jesus, I would do it immediately. I wouldn't even think twice. How am I not? How am I not getting paid to talk for a living? How does a GM, a fucking radio guy, hear this show and not go, we got to get that guy in just because we'd never have to do anything ever? My friend Brian Noonan does a radio show, and he does it by himself. He does, 3 hours, 4 hours by himself. But he takes callers and things like that. But still, he's able to pull it off by himself. I think I could do it. but I wouldn't take any callers. It would just be me talking. Why? You know what? This time has come, radio. Embrace the podcast and start with me. Just go ahead and open it up. Let me be give me like a Howard Beale hour on your radio airwaves with no commercials, no sponsors, no anything. Yes, an hour. We'll start with an hour. I can't sell them on a 2-hour or a 3-hour yet. 5-hour, please. I mean, it's just bring me in and let me Howard Beale the shit out of your show for a fucking hour. That's it. Sit back, relax, have your fucking GM kick back. And let me just fucking do it. Just go and run downhill for an hour on regular radio. How weird would that be to hear me on regular radio? Goddamn super weird. Because I wouldn't be able to swear. I couldn't even say that. I couldn't say goddamn super weird. I'd have to say GD super weird like every other horrible morning zoo idiot. Oh, don't you hate when they say F this? Oh, stop saying that. Go get a real job where you can swear like a man. I hate it. I hate when people censor their swears. All right. Freaking. Oh, who says freaking? Terrible people say freaking. They do. Nobody says freaking. All right, so hi. So, folks, coming up this weekend, as some of you may know or may not know, is the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. That is in Santa Monica. If you go to lapodfest.com right now, you can get any and all information regarding the show. Tickets are still available for individual days as well as 3-day passes. I think there are rooms available at the hotel. I think there is some sort of autograph session where everyone's going to meet you and sign your football. That's not true. None of that is true. No, I've been being briefed all week. It's a reality. It's been just me talking in a website. Which is that, basically that's my career. Let's be honest, just me talking in a website. So I don't know what I'm bitching about. No, the LA Podfest has been it's just been everybody talking about it and plugging it and a website. But now and they had a venue, but it didn't really take shape until now. This is the week. I'm starting to get emails from the guys who organized it telling me, how to get passes, and they're selling merch and where to go and what to do. And they're giving me this blow by blow of events. So I will tell you this, folks. Friday night, there is the opening of the shows are Friday night. There's the Sklar Brothers, and I think, the Dirty Show is that night. The Naughty Show, is that what it is? Sam Tripoli and Eddie Ift and Jim Jeffries are there doing their Talking Shit show. That's Friday night. But before that, folks, before we dive into the filth with those guys, there is a kickoff party. I don't know. I don't know who's going to be there. Okay, and this is a weird thing and again, I didn't organize this thing, so I good luck, because I couldn't possibly. I can barely keep straight what I'm supposed to fucking do at this thing. The last thing I would need to do is to be in charge of logistics and booking, because look, I know how terrible it is to talk to talent. I am talent. You don't want to talk to me, folks, because it just turns into a thing where I need like 3 propels and a stool, and then everything falls apart. So trying to figure out what everybody needs and at any given time and what time they're going to be there and who the guests are. I can't even imagine. It's our friends Dave Anthony, Greg Barrett, Andy Wood, Graham Elwood, and Chris Mancini are the organizers of the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. And I don't know how they did it. Well, actually I do. They got $25,000 from Kickstarter and went, hey, we really got to do something now. Holy shit, this worked. I can't imagine why they didn't call the festival that. The Holy Shit, This Worked Festival. But good for them. And they've secured the venues. They've got places where you can get a deal on rooms, and there's passes available. Other people are doing contests and giving things away. I'm not. I don't know why, quite frankly, because I haven't put any thought into it. I mean, I saw... Seriously, I mean, Never Not Funny yesterday twittered that they were giving away tickets to something, but these guys haven't really reached out to me regarding giving away stuff or running contests. So I would hate to promise 6 tickets and then all of a sudden they go, oh yeah, I'm sorry, Mike, can't do that. Because I don't want to step on their toes. This is their thing that they organized. But I can tell you this, I will tell you what I know for sure I'm doing and what's happening. Friday night, there's an opening party, poolside, which I think has a bar and there might be a grill or something. I have no idea. But I know that there will be podcasting people there. It's a little rough between 5 and 7. I don't know who's going to be able to make the scene. I know Jimmy won't be there because Jimmy's on the road. He's in Chicago this weekend. And by the way, if you're in Chicago this weekend, go see Jimmy Pardo and Mike Toomey at Zany's. And I almost flew in for that. Jimmy's there Friday and Saturday. I was going to fly to town and just to hang out with Jimmy and Mike, but unfortunately real life interfered, and I was not able to do that. Plus, I'm here this weekend, busy. But if you're in Chicago, man, go to Zanies and see Mike Toomey and Jimmy Pardo. You're not going to see two funnier people in one spot ever in your lives. But if you're trapped in California, Friday night there is the gala, the opening poolside event with liquor and podcast people. Now, here's my fear. I will tell you this: I'm coming to the poolside thing. And my friend Lily Bunched Up is going to come to the poolside thing. My fear is nobody else shows up, podcast-wise. I fear that all of the fans of those podcasts show up and have no idea who Lily and I are, which is a possibility. Not even a possibility. It's a probability, okay? Because we're a niche show. There's no doubt we're a niche, folks. But I'm thinking that there's no doubt. I'm just hoping it's not a fucking 2-hour poolside rodeo of furtive glances going, who's that? Do you know that? Who's that? Do you know who that guy is? Who's that? Is that somebody? I don't know if that's somebody. Because again, this is podcasting. You know what the fuck we all look like. So anybody who's a fan of this show will know Lily and I. Or no, Lily and me, I should say. But if you don't know me and you don't know the show, and then I'll just look like another tool bag fan at the fucking pool waiting for fucking Doug Benson to show up. And look, I don't mind that. Believe me, if none of you show up or want to talk to me at poolside, Lily and I will sit in lounge chairs and fucking laugh at people. We don't care. I'll watch the famous guys, the real important podcasters get meted and greeted. And Lily and I will just sit there and clink glasses for 2 hours and laugh. And then I think I'm going to stick around and watch the Sklars. And I don't know if I'm going to be there for the Naughty Show and whatever else happens deep into the night. Unless there's, I think the Naughty Show is going to have strippers. If they're going to have strippers and stuff, because a couple weeks ago, the Naughty Show had Caden Cross on. And I think Alexis Texas. And I don't know why I'm not if you're having porn stars at live podcasts, why the fuck am I not there? I mean, it's, look, I like having you, Lily Bunched Up, but you're not taking it in the ass on film anymore.
No,
so I can't sell that.
You need to get porn stars for your live show. Who can I call?
You know what? What would be funny is you did that, and then we get Manuel Ferrara and James Dean. Like I go the other way. I get dudes. Which would be fine. I'll get a room full of chicks. That's fine if they want to come in and check out those. Because I mean, who wouldn't want to see? Look, if I told you,
dancers on the side of the stage while you're talking.
if I had James Dean and Manuel Ferrara in the fucking room while I was doing that, that'd be perfect. Actually, you know what? Let's we got to go back. We got to go 80s. What if I got Tom Byron and John Leslie? What if I got them in there? That'd be fine. Is he still alive? I don't know if John Leslie's still around. No, if we're going to get porn stars, let's go. You know what? Let's get fucking, let's get Kay Parker. Holy shit. Is she still around? Let's call up fucking Kay Parker and Marilyn Chambers is dead. We can't call her.
We can try.
What, did you say we could try?
We can try.
Oh my God, that's what we do. Because Kay Parker's not a porn star anymore, but maybe she's like a medium or something. Let's have a seance and try to bring up the spirit of Marilyn Chambers. That's got to kill an hour, right? I'm in some side ballroom. I'm in a broom closet for fucking 2 hours. We can kill an hour of that with a seance to try to bring back the spirit of Marilyn Chambers. Done. Holy shit, this show's taking shape. God damn it, I'm glad I'm putting it together on a Wednesday. 3 days before. So we got Manuel Ferrara and James Dean go-go dancing while we get Kay Parker to be a medium as we try to contact the spirit of Marilyn Chambers. This show is fucking amazing. You think Friday's the naughty show. This is super naughty on Sunday afternoon, trying to get Marilyn Chambers, the Ivory Snow Lady, to fucking show up. Did you see you've seen Behind the Green Door, right? Mm-hmm. Dudes, you got to see Behind the Green Door. Because like you see porn now, and then there's all that extreme porn online. Wait, you want to see something horribly sad? All right, let's get this. You want to jerk off to something that'll make you cry? All right. Yes, you do. Who doesn't? Get The Devil and Miss Jones. Oh my God. I watched them. This is when they were making porns like they were actual movies. And Georgina Spelvin, I think, is the star of The Devil and Miss Jones. That's my guess. I don't know. I don't know a lot of porn stars' names from the 80s, folks. As I sit here and I drop a fucking Erica Boyer on you. Fuck, I actually have an Erica Boyer story. You know what? What should I do? Should I tell the Erica Boyer story or should I tell the Devil and Miss Jones story? I can't decide. I'm up in the air.
Should we flip a coin?
Let's do it. Let's flip a coin. Wait, let's go to Facebook. Folks, we're talking about Erica Boyer and we're talking about Georgina Spelvin. Which one should I run with? All right, we're gonna really flip a coin here. I can tell. I'm telling them both. It just
Goofy or Mickey?
all right. We gotta flip it in the air. Don't do a tiny flip.
You're gonna flip it so it lands
Well,
down.
yeah, but use your thumb. You can't do that. Do you? Don't tell me you're not dexterous
You wanna
enough.
do this kind of
Fuck yeah, that's how you flip a coin. Do it. Throw it in the air. Goofy.
Is this the one or is this the one?
Well, wait a minute, but you're supposed to flip it over, but what is the choice? Like, we didn't even establish any ground rules on this flip. I just yelled Goofy, it's going to be Goofy. We haven't assigned a fucking Spelvin or a Boyer.
Which is which?
All right, so a Boyer is a Goofy and a Spelvin is a Mickey.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and flip it.
It's a Mickey.
Flip it again. We had no ground rules. There you go, up in the air. All right, hit the ground. And it's a leaning. You can't lean.
Oh, Jesus, Mary.
It's got to land flat or you got to catch it. There you go. Flip over. What do we got?
It's a Mickey still.
The Devil and Miss Jones, folks. This is back when they were making porns as if they were actual films. Like they cared about. It's like in Boogie Nights when you see Burt Reynolds' character Jack Horner, and he's like, I want him when they shoot that joy juice all over. I want him to sit there and see how the story ends. That's what The Devil and Miss Jones is like, because it is just this dark, evil movie full of porn. So it's like it's just shame hard-ons. It's like literally just you have hard-ons, but you're like, oh my God, it's so shameful. And then you run off a batch and you're like, oh, I don't want to jerk off to this. It's like actually morose. I mean, it's like, it's like a fucking Bergman film. You know what I mean? But with porn in it. It's crazy. The final shot of The Devil and Miss Jones, I don't even want to give it away. Like I want to tell you what it is because it's so fucking powerful. But when you see the last shot, you're just like, oh my God, that's, and you actually, I remember tearing up watching it, because look, folks, I invest a lot in my porn. All right. And I can tell you The Devil and Miss Jones is one of the few porns that's made more than 2 different fluids come out of my body. So, cause I actually got a little teared up watching it. It was like, I can't, powerful final shot, but I'm going to make you sit through the entire Devil and Miss Jones just to see the final shot. Erica Boyer. This is the goofy part of the coin flip. Erica Boyer, I had a friend who was in love with her. Like, not like, wow, she's a hot porn star. Like, he thought maybe he would marry her. Like, that kind of weird, he had that sort of strange association. And it turned out that she was coming to a porn theater. Like, this is back when they used to do signings and meet and greets and stuff at actual porn theaters. So my friend is like, we got to go meet Erica Boyer. And I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Do you really want to do that? And he's like, no, I want to meet her. I go, all right, but we got to establish some ground rules before we go. Like, that she doesn't know who you are or that you love her, and you're not going to, you're not going to spirit her away here from the porn theater. And she's not going to, and it's just, but I did it in a goofy way, but also at the same time, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting sucked into some weird wingman thing where I've got to go ahead and talk to her sleazy manager while he proposes marriage. Like, I don't want him stopping to buy a ring on the way to go meet Erica Boyer. So he's like, no, dude, I know. I want to see her. Like, I want to be in the same room with her. And it's Erica Boyer, by the way, was, I think she was the Queen of Anal. I think that was actually her nickname, was the Queen of Anal, because that was not a thing in the 80s. Like, when it happened, I think it happens in Behind the Green Door, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, Satan himself just showed up and unfortunately put a girl on a trapeze and fucked her in the ass. Like, it's like one of those things that you even in the 80s, that was still the kind of thing you saw on those loops. Like, you never saw it in a real movie, like on VHS, at least in the beginning of the 80s. And then, of course, became 1987, which heralded the age of ass fucking. That changed everything, folks. Once 87 showed up, it's like, yep, that's it. Heralding the age of ass fucking. So my friend is like, dude, we got to go meet Erica Boyer. And he has this thing for her. And I'm like, all right, I'll go. And I should tell you this was at a time, I used to like, my weight used to fluctuate all the time. I told you I was a real fat monster for a while. And then I lost a ton of weight. When I was out, I moved to Tahoe and I was dancing all the time, and I worked as a bouncer and a DJ in a club. And so I lost a ton of weight. Like I was like probably 240 and looking real good. That's right. I was looking real good. But I could wear jeans. Like, I didn't have to wear sweatpants, and I could wear like t-shirts and I had biceps. Like, I looked like a human being. I didn't look like a fucking, I didn't look like HR Puffin stuff. All right. I looked like a normal, decent looking guy. So we go to meet Erica Boyer, and, there's dudes there. There's like 25 dudes, and they lined up to talk to her. And she's doing that thing where she was taking Polaroids, and she's leaning on them, and, and she's kissing them, and, and she's being very friendly. And so we're in line, and my buddy is, he's really excited. And I said, well, you're going first. And he's like, what? I go, no, dude, just go first. And I go, and I don't care if you take up all my time. Just that's fine, and then we can go. I don't need to meet her or whatever. And he said, oh, okay. So we got to the front, and he was starstruck. Like, it was so wild to see a guy, and this was a guy who had acted and been in shows and had met famous comedians and things. But he saw Erica Boyer, and he was almost frozen. Like, as we got closer. But then when he got closer, I was proud of him because he was very in the moment. And very nice and very cool and very respectful of her. And he wasn't frozen like, gaga. Because the other guys, let's be honest, she's a porn star. So there were a lot of the guys that were there were complete nerds. Like, and that was their thing. That was their touchstone with a woman, was through porn. And so they had the same thing that my friend had, where they couldn't believe they were in the same room with her. But then there were assholes who were like, well, yeah, of course she's going to dig me because she's a porn star and that's what she does. She fucks guys. And you could just see the different attitudes. And she was friendly and nice to everyone. And she wasn't like stereotypical, like, ooh, la la, fuck me, or any. She was an actress there meeting people. It was crazy. So, but she just happened to be an actress who would, put her arm around you or kiss your face for a picture or take Polaroids and sell them, that kind of thing. So, we get to the front of the line, and we are the last two guys in line, by the way. And I'm not too cool for school. I mean, I'm pretty excited to be in a room with Erica Boyer myself. I mean, she's really sexy, and I've seen her involved in her acting career, and she's really good at what she does. Granted, I'm more of a Barbara Dare guy, as I've mentioned from my kitchen in Tahoe. I'm more of a Nicky Charm guy, folks. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck. Oh, you know what? I can't. Hold on. Yeah, I just came in my pants. I can't even say Nicky Charm. Go look up Nicky Charm, folks. I'll wait. I'll fucking wait. She looked like Pia Zadora, but she was in porn. Oh, my God, Nicky Charm. And she was like 4'8". Oh, dude. And she would just climb to the top of a fucking Jamie Gillis. Dude. Oh, Paul Thomas would just wear like a scuba mask. All right. So anyway, Nicky fucking Charm. Yeah. All right. So I'm not kidding you. I'm sweating from saying Nicky Charm's name. That's the weirdest thing. Cause it's like, that was you know what? Maybe she's my Erica Boyer. Maybe she's my Barbara Dare. Maybe she's my Karen Summer. Karen Summer. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. That's a name I shouldn't even bring up. Karen Summer was in a porno once. All right, I'll share this with you folks. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago. I don't know why, and you shouldn't even remember this. That head is a trigger word for me. Like it has a thing. Well, there's another phrase too that is a trigger for me, and it's from this particular porn scene. I am sweating telling you about it. There was it is weird. It's weird. I think it was one of the Taboo movies. I don't even know what it was. It might have been Taboo 9. I don't fucking know. But and Kay Parker, was she in it? She might have been in it or not. I don't know. But the mom and the dad were fucking in a bedroom. Okay. If you don't know what the Taboo movies are, they made 11 of them or something. And they were movies where the whole family fucked. Like brothers fucked sisters and moms fucked sons and dads fucked daughters. And it wasn't really happening. Obviously, they were all actors. But the storyline was that it was a family that fucked together. And I don't even know if they were forced to stop making them or if they decided, you know what, we should stop making them before someone notices that we're doing this because it's so creepy. But the thing is, even if that's the case, things have completely come. They've done a 180 because that kind of shit used to be literally taboo. Like that's why they named the movie that. It was always like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing this. There are movies now where actual brothers are having sex. There's these gay twins that have sex in movies. And there's and these sisters too that supposedly do. I've never seen the sisters. I know for a fact though that the twin brothers exist. Don't ask how I know. God damn it, folks. All I got to say is there is nothing to do in Kansas City. All right, so so Karen Summer, that's what I'm talking about. So in like Taboo 70, she's in a scene and she's like this daughter. Okay. And she's with her brother, and her brother is spying on the mom and dad, and they're fucking in the room, and the brother is just watching. And I you know what? I may have even talked about the scene on here because it plays in my brain. Like I can see it. I can see every second of it. The brother is peeking in at them in the bedroom, and Karen Summer's the sister, and she catches him, and she walks up, and she looks in the room, and the brother almost doesn't even see her there. So they're both spying on mom and dad, doing their thing or whatever. And look, I should tell you this real quick. I didn't get off on the family aspect of it, all right? That was not my thing. I was too young to even really process that until, now when I look back at it, it's like, that's fucking ridiculous and horrifying. Even if it is Kay Parker, she's fucking phenomenally hot. But still, the fact that it's, the fact that you even portray brothers and sisters and all that shit, that's not my thing. I'm into just the porn of it. All right. So Karen Summer and this guy are looking in at the parents going at it, and almost absentmindedly, Karen Summer reaches over and just starts jerking this guy off. Okay. Almost as if she was so into what she was seeing and so into what was happening. And again, by all means, this is my mind at work. This is me putting, all of my feelings are going into this description. Okay. I'm sure this isn't anything to do with what they were just doing a porno. But in my opinion, it was like she was so into what was going on that she just absentmindedly reached over, looking for any cock within reach, and just started to go off. And she's jerking the guy off, and they're watching, and she's jerking him off, and they're not looking at one another. Okay, they're watching what's going on, and they're not. It's like they don't even pay attention. All of a sudden, this guy is just like, "Wow, well, I'm getting ghost jerked off somehow. I don't know how that's happening." And Karen Summers just like, "Wow, how the cock was handy. Let's work it." I mean, like that's the thing. So they do that, and then. She, how do I put this in a technical term? She jerks him off to completion. I just wanted to say that. She jerks him off, and then he shoots all over the place as they're watching what's going on. And she takes her hand away, like she jerks him off, and he shoots, and he makes his fucking shoot face. And then she takes her hand away, and she looks at it, and she's got, there's like residue, and it's on the fucking door. And she goes, "Oh man, I was going to suck you off too." And then she walks away. And I remember, like, I even now I have this weird feeling in the pit of my stomach just from, because her face, she had the most seductive face ever. It was like she knew what she had done. I mean, she could come all over her hands, and she's looking at it, and then she looks at him like, too bad you didn't hold off, because there would have been so much more to that. Like, it was just this great tease, even though he had already shot his load. Like, and honestly, if I'm that guy, who's not hard instantly again the second she says that, right? The second she says that, it's just like, no, we're fine. Let's go. Let's do this. I'm not moving until it happens. But just so then suck you off or suck him off. That phrase is always like a thing too. And it's folks, I'm telling you far too much about me. And you know who really does not enjoy this at all? The county country comment guy. He is so freaked out by what's happening. He's like, wait a minute. Aren't you going to talk about a funny news story? No, I'm not. That's what I do on their show, sir. We covered all of the funny news stories on their show, so I don't have to do them here. Now here, I will tell you about me watching jerk-off films as a child and Karen Summer walking down a hallway with her hand dripping like she punched an ostrich egg. Karen Summer, holy shit. I don't even know what it was. It's like one of those things where, and again, if you look at Karen Summer, you're going to go, she's okay. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you see someone in one situation and you're just like, yep, yeah, that does it. That's it. That's in forever. Locked in my brain. And if Karen Summer's alive now, like I'd want to meet her. Like you know what? I've started watching Dave Attell's show. I watched it all last season. The porn show on Showtime, and he brings in old porn stars and they show old clips from the '80s. And I'm sitting there just going, yep, I knew that person and I know her vagina and what it looks like. And he had Nina Hartley on, and and look, I like Nina Hartley, okay, but I go off the board, man. I go Karen Summer. I got to go Barbara Dare. People you don't remember, Nikki Charm. Oh Jesus, I can't. Yeah, it happened again. All right, Nikki Charm. Fucking and there's amazing girls. Like I said, Nina Hartley's amazing, certainly. Heather Hunter was gorgeous. Heather Hunter, all right. When we make a list of the luckiest people on earth, I got to throw Heather Hunter on that list. Heather Hunter is a porn star who dated Magic Johnson, and she does not have AIDS. She might be, you know what? They would start scraping her skin cells for a fucking cure. Honestly, she may be the you know what? McConaughey's got to get a hold of her and get fucking, she's got to be in the AIDS guy movie. She could be his sidekick for fuck's sake. Or actually, she could be his enemy because she's the one who destroys him. Heather Hunter is a porn star who made all these bareback porn shows and dated Magic Johnson and does not have AIDS. She might be a witch. I stand by that statement. There's a good possibility. She may have dabbled in the occult. Honestly, when you consider her track record, it's the only thing she hadn't dabbled in, quite frankly. She's a dabbler. All right. So we're in line at this porn house, and we get to the front, and my friend is he all of a sudden, I should tell you, he was like kind of like ethereal, like, wow, I can't believe we're here, and she's so beautiful, because she did. And also I'll tell you this, it looked like she put on her makeup with a steamroller. I mean, we when we walked in, you could see her face. I mean, it was like this glowing red lipstick and heavy like eyeshadow, but crazy tan and hot. I mean, she's a porn star, of course she's hot. So we get to the front. My friend loosened up, and then he was actually funny and glib and interesting with her. I couldn't believe it, like, because he was all frozen. And then she was very nice, and because we were the last people, she actually kind of looked up. And once she saw that we weren't there to be like to ogle her, even though we were, and we weren't there to belittle her, she kind of loosened up a little bit, like, and became a person. This has happened to me before. All right, now let me tell you this. One time, we went to an autograph session. This is ridiculous. There was a wrestler by the name of Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, and he had a valet named Precious. And he was a bad guy, but and he was also kind of a pussy. He was a chicken shit heel, is what it's known as in wrestling. So Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin was doing a signing, and my buddy Rich Ripper and I think Larry Larson might have gone with me. Larry Larson, who listens to this show. And I think it was me, Larry, Rich, and maybe some, I don't know, whatever. It was definitely me and Rich. And maybe Kevin, my buddy Kevin might have gone. So, you know what? None of them could have gone. It could have been just me. This never happened. All right, so anyway, Erica Boyer. God damn it, get your story straight. We went to an autograph signing with Jimmy Garvin, and the thing is, Jimmy Garvin was a bad guy, and we loved the Road Warriors, and he was feuding with the Road Warriors at the time, and the Road Warriors had left, and they had lost the titles to Jimmy Garvin and Steve Regal. So he was there signing things, and it was all these people who were like, you know, boo, and they were mean to him, but they were also, they treated him like they were all suckers. They were marks, all right? They were all in. They believed wrestling. And we did not. And we also had the benefit of being fucking hilarious. Like, we were funny, my friends and I. So we get to the front and we meet Jimmy Garvin and we meet Precious, and they're very nice. And they sign pictures or whatever for us. And then we start joking with them and they start joking with us. And we're actually having a good time talking. And there's a line. And so we go to move and he goes, no, stick around. So he makes us stay while they sign stuff for other people. And he will keep throwing it to us for jokes, and we're joking with Jimmy Garvin, and we're asking him real questions like, you know, like, what do managers do? And obviously they're not, but we presume that everything's a work. We presume everything is fake. So we're like, well, these guys aren't your managers. Do they fly with you? Do you hang out with those guys? Are you even friends with this guy? Or Precious Paul Ellering, is he even friends with the Road Warriors? They sign, like, so we were getting answers, but also being funny. So he was willing to tolerate us. So we got along great. It was kind of fun. God, I have, so anyway, Erica Boyer did not have a valet named Precious. Let me go ahead and get that out of the way right now. Although she was gorgeous. Certainly more gorgeous than Jimmy Garvin. So my friend is talking, and she's being charming, and she's being nice and friendly, and she kind of brightened up and became a real person. And he went to get his picture taken, and she would stand, like, you could sit down and she would like stand over you or sit in your lap or that kind of thing. So he finishes, and then she looks at me, and he had completely changed her whole afternoon. Like, she was, because he worshipped her and he made it very clear, but also he wasn't like a geek about it, you know, and she was kind of really receptive to it. It was really, I don't even know how to explain it. So maybe he could have married her. I mean, when it gets down to it, if we would have had more than 7 minutes together in a porn house, maybe he would have gotten to marry her. And you know what? Maybe he has. I haven't talked to this guy in years. Perhaps he and Erica Boyer have run off and they have a home somewhere on a cliffside. Regardless. Actually, I'm sure they have a home in a cave, knowing what Erica's specialty was. So I get to meet Erica Boyer, and I'm my usual charming self, and I actually look pretty good. I'm wearing like a white, like, look, dude, that's how good looking I was, or not good looking, how in shape I was. I was wearing a white T-shirt. I mean, like, nobody can wear that unless you're like a normal looking guy. I was a normal looking guy at the time, so I had biceps, I looked good. So she's like, hey, let's get a picture. And so I went around. And she was real tiny too, I should tell you that. She, to the point where, well, all right, hold on. Let's do this. So I went to sit down, and I said, hey, can I pick you up? And she's like, what? I said, can I lift you up for the picture? And she's like, well, yeah, I guess so if you want to. So I didn't sit down. I lifted her up, and I was holding her in my arms. Like, and she was tiny. And she just started laughing, and she couldn't take the photo because I was holding her, and she kept laughing because she's like, I can't. And she finally goes, I can't do this. I can't. She goes, because someone's going to see that you were the only person, and now everybody's going to want to lift me up every time I go somewhere. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, sit down. So I sat down, and she didn't just put her hands on my shoulders or anything. She climbed on me like a porn star climb. Like, I don't even know how to, like, she slithered across my lap. She didn't just plop down and go take the photo. Like, she poured herself into my arms and into my lap. I've yet to experience anything like it before or since. It was as if she was part of me, and she was just, I felt like, you know what she was? She was Venom. The Spider-Man symbiote suit, the black suit. Erica Boyer was Venom because she just clung to me symbiote style, and she slid into my arms, and she pulled her skirt up, and she lifted her leg up. And so then I put of course, because I can't just sit there, I linked my arm in between her legs, and I got her in one arm, and then I put my other arm up, and I've got her, I'm holding her. So it's kind of like I lifted her up, but she's in my lap, and her legs are splayed out across me, like up and down, and she's pulling her shirt down and looking at the camera, and they took the photo. And it was a Polaroid, so it came out, and I looked at it, and I'm just like, oh, dude, that looks awesome. And she signed it, she kissed it, she put like a lipstick thing on it, and then she wrote, Mike, you're the one I've been waiting for, Erica Boyer. I think I still have that photo somewhere. But my friend, it was great. My friend, he was, when she like climbed on me, I could see him like looking like kind of. Because I'm an idiot. All right. I won't mind like when I lifted her up and I asked to lift her up, my friend was kind of like, why didn't I do that? That sort of thing. But he was still cool with it. He wasn't, because he knew, like, it's not like I was stealing his girl, but he still was like, why didn't I think of those things? Because I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'll just say, hey, let's do it. Because I asked Dana White to put me in a chokehold. Like, I'm like, go ahead, just do it. I had an Elmo punch me in the face in New York. I mean, it's just dumb. So I think he was mad that he didn't ask that, but then dude, I can't even explain. She was like water. You know what? Fuck Bruce Lee. Erica Boyer is like water. That's where he got it. That's where Bruce Lee got it. He's like, oh, you must be like, well, actually, you must be like water-based lube. That's where he got from. That's what he got from Erica Boyer. But then he shortened it for his thing. He made it, you must be like water, which is good. Because honestly, that's not really a great catchphrase. If you're talking about martial arts, like you must be like water-based lube, that's a lot of thinking going on. People don't want to do that. But it must be like water. Perfect. Bruce Lee said it right there. If there's one thing we all know about Bruce Lee, he was a good editor. All right. If that's the one thing we all take, right? Certainly secondary is his amazing martial arts skills to his editing skills. Well, and if you didn't know, now you know. You must be like water-based rube. Rube? All right. I can't do a Bruce Lee impression. You have insulted my family and the Shaolin Temple. There, that's close. He's dead. All right, so, which is why I don't mind doing this. Because, I mean, honestly, although his ghost might beat the shit out of me at this point. Oh, my God, that seance could go all wrong. Oh, no. Kay Parker, do not bring back the spirit of Bruce Lee. Only Marilyn Chambers. Close the door, Kay Parker. All right. Fuck. How do we get into that? How do we talk about... That's my Boyer story. Let's flip another coin. What else am I going to talk about? God damn it. Let's talk about Tori Wells. Oh, Jesus Christ, folks. Forget it. Tori Wells. That's it. Like, we're just drawing the curtain on the whole show right now if I talk about Tori Wells. She was late 80s, but goddamn, she looked like Gina Gershon, but in porn. Oh, my God. Hot. Stop at the 80s porn stars. Well, you know why? Because I'm championing the 80s porn stars you don't remember. Tori Wells, Karen Summer, Nikki Charm. Because there are monster porn stars that everybody remembers. They remember, because everybody says Ginger Lynn. Like, that's always like their 80s porn star. Dude, she's got a fucking ocelot face. I mean, she is just not, she's hot. Don't get me wrong. When I was a kid, of course, Ginger Lynn, I'm running off a batch to her constantly. That's fine. She's hot. But she wasn't even the best Lynn. The Amber Lynn was the hottest Lynn. Holy shit, was Amber Lynn hot. Oh, and have I talked about Amber Lynn on here before? See, all right, well, before I get into Amber Lynn, Ginger Lynn, like I said, everybody thought that she was the biggest, hottest 80s porn star. I have two words for you. First of all, like I said, she wasn't even the best Lynn. Amber Lynn, definitely the best Lynn. But Amber Lynn, crazy hot 80s porn star. And also, dude, hottest porn star of the 80s? Christy Canyon. I mean, it can't even, there's not even a contest. Christy Canyon is I think she's still around. I think she's on like Playboy Radio, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned earlier. Hey, radio people, get me on. You know, we'll go with the Christy Canyon, Mike Schmidt, Howard Beale hour. And we'll go on there and we'll just rampage and talk. I'm sure she's interesting, right? She seems nice. That's a thing. You would say that all the time, right? She seems nice. When you see a hot, like, naked girl, she seems nice. But I mean, yeah, I'm talking about the girls that you don't like. Christy Canyon was so, and probably still is. I mean, I haven't seen her in a while. The last time I saw her was in that book. A guy did a book where it was porn stars all gussied up as porn stars and then with their clothes off. I can't remember what it was, but it was a book because Jenna Jameson was on the cover. And I think it was just called like X Shots or something like that. But Christy Canyon is that, and she's just, I mean, dude, she's so crazy hot. And then there were porn stars because there's hot, like Christy Canyon was hot, Amber Lynn hot. But like I said, then there was Karen Summer who was just like dirty hot. Like she... And dude, hold on. All right, let's stop. Barbara Dare, like I said, hot but also dirty hot. Christy Canyon, you know what? Christy Canyon was the 80s Gianna Michaels. All right, for any of you porn people, but she was really good looking. Christy Canyon was the gorgeous Gianna Michaels. Like because Gianna is she's dirty hot. That's her whole deal. But from the neck down, she's very Christy Canyon. But from the neck up, she's, more fucking Runyon Canyon. All right, that's, Gianna's had some miles put on her. But Christy Canyon, so gorgeous. And so she was like same body type, but hot, but not like filthy like Gianna Michaels is. You hear that beeping? All right. I only say it because you motherfuckers will write me and go, well, what was it the beeping during the Gianna Michaels thing? But I don't know if you know that whenever you talk about Gianna Michaels on a podcast, there has to be an alarm that goes off. It lets her know what's happening. That might be a smoke alarm at a neighboring apartment. These walls are thin, folks. Oldest building in Hollywood. As a matter of fact, they filmed Christy Canyon movies here back in the 80s. And back then they were like, we need to find the oldest building in Hollywood to film in. So even then it was the oldest building in Hollywood, which I guess would make sense because if it's the oldest now, why wouldn't it be the oldest then? Well, I guess because there were older ones then, but now they've torn them down since. This is the last building standing. Boy, you want to talk about filthy hot, because now it's like you watch porn and like girls are getting bukkakied all over the place, and it's just like fucking. Half these girls, you don't even know what they look like. They just turn into a pile of goo about 5 minutes into the film. Fine, but man, because there was a chick in the '80s, dude. There was this girl, Debbie Diamond. Which I know that sounds like a band or like a weird groupie name. And she probably was all of those things. Cause I know she worked Tommy Lee. Like she was one of those chicks who like wound up on Motley Crue's bus for 3 cities. Like she was that kind of chick and she was raw. I had a videotape of her, that she made, and it was just her with like 12 guys, like one of those things. And here was the thing with Debbie Diamond. And again, this is a lot of porn talk, folks. I apologize for dumping all this porn talk, but when I don't have anything to talk about, I'm sorry. That's where I go, right below the waist. That's what's happening. Debbie Diamond was in this porno, and it was this thing where she was in a room and there was like a bunch of glory holes, and like she was supposed to just like service a bunch of like she unanimously serviced these anonymous cocks. And then at one point she just kind of stands up and goes behind the wall, like where the dudes are. And it really looks like it wasn't planned. Like they were going to make a glory hole movie. And then she was just like, I'm sorry, I can't do this one cock at a time thing. Everybody line up. Cause Debbie Diamond was just raw. She may, you think Heather Hunter was a witch. I can't believe Debbie Diamond isn't patient 0 for AIDS. She may have invented it, for fuck's sake. But she all of a sudden she goes around the wall, and then they just bring all these dudes in and set up a table, and that's it. Just this, Debbie Diamond gets rampaged and could not be more excited. Debbie Diamond was like the 4-year-old on Christmas morning of porn. I mean, she constantly looked like she was ripping open gifts and was the happiest person in the world. 9 cocks in her ass. Whoop-hoo! She's so thrilled. God damn it. Debbie Diamond was rough. I think she disappeared. Like she boned Tommy Lee. She's got one of those weird porn stories where it's like she banged like 9 dudes, and then all of a sudden she went on the road with Savatage and nobody saw her again. Holy shit. Last time we saw her, she was backstage blowing 9 roadies at Halloween. All right. But there was Christy Canyon, Ginger Lynn, Amber Lynn, of course, fucking amazing. Tori Wells. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Tori Wells. Because again, these are the forgotten porn stars that I bring to you folks. The thing Dave Attell did a year ago when he started making his show. I'm pretending that I'm doing something new. I'm not. I know I'm not. I don't know how I got caught in this loop of 80s porn stars. Back off. I have an Amber Lynn story. I have 2 Amber Lynn stories. I think I told one of them on here. And one of them I'm not supposed to tell on here. Yeah. It's funny. People were asking me. They're like, "Hey, what are we doing after?" Because I'm doing the podcast festival. Let's get back to that for a second. Let's get out of the '80s porn world for just a second, folks. So Saturday I'm doing the stand-up show. And then, what's funny is I'm going to try to talk about this, and everybody there is just going, tell your Amber Lynn story, idiot. Even Country County comment guy is like, what's the Amber Lynn story? Tell it! He's got his fingers poised over his keyboard to make a snarky comment on my Facebook page about it. Mm-mm. So I'm doing the stand-up show on Saturday. I still don't know what I'm going to talk about at the stand-up show. Amber Lynn, you know what? Actually, come on to the show Saturday. I'll tell the Amber Lynn story. I'm sure everyone will love it. And then, so that's Saturday. And then Sunday, I'm doing my show. And I think 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the Samba room or some bullshit. I don't know. I'm in the Diamond room, actually. I'm in the Debbie Diamond room. You'll notice there's holes in the walls and a table in the center. So I don't know. So people wrote me. There's a woman named Jennifer who's in Texas, and she found the show like the week after I was in Austin. And she was like, I can't believe you're here and I didn't see you. I'm so mad, but maybe I'll see you another time. And she's been very nice online, friendly. And she wrote on the Joker's page, hey, are you having like a get-together after the show on Sunday, like a sushi thing? And that's a great idea. So I wrote on the page, I go, I hadn't planned on it, hadn't thought about it. I like the idea. As soon as someone plans it and grabs the reins of that idea, I'll be happy to go ahead and get involved. Because, no offense, I'm not lining up a bunch of people from out of town and going, hey, and I'm not Andy Kaufman, motherfuckers. Someone else figure out to bring me somewhere. I'm not getting school buses to take you for fucking milk and cookies. But, I mean, it's a great idea. I wouldn't mind having like a weird meet and greet thing, except for the fact that when my show ends, I'm sure everybody from my show is going to run over to see fucking Jimmy and see Never Not Funny. Because, the podcast festival did a very cool thing about putting us back to back and making sure that I wouldn't have any free time for my meet and greet. Because I even am going to go over and see Jimmy, probably. So maybe even after Jimmy's, if we wanted to do something, or if somebody can think of something to do, I'm up for it. And I'm sure everybody's like, well, dude, we got to go to a strip club, right? We got to do that, don't we? And go find some Vice.
I'm in.
Of course you're in. We can't because Karen is coming to the show, and I don't know if that would be something that she would be on board for. Although it's funny because one of the Amber Lynn stories that I can't tell is because of Karen. So maybe I tell the story and then she doesn't come out to the show on Sunday and we can go to a strip club. That sounds perfect, right? Absolutely. We get to go to a strip club if I tell the story. It's so great. What a plan. I can't do that. So, all right. Well, fuck. All right. I've told the first one, of course. I loved Amber Lynn. In 80s porn world. I mean, she was the hotter Lynn, certainly. And I lived in Orange County, California in the early 90s. I swear to God, I've told this story on here. And I was with friends and they knew her. They knew her because she was from Orange or something. I don't know. She might have lived in Tustin. I don't remember. But they knew her somehow. Like they went to school with her or whatever. And we were at a Stater Brothers in Orange, California. And I saw her like across the fucking checkouts. Like I was in one checkout with my buddies and I saw her she was like 8 over. And I was like, I froze. Cause I'm like, fuck, that's Amber Lynn, dude. And, I grabbed my friend. I go, dude. And he looked up and he's like, oh yeah. And, I said, that's Amber Lynn, right? He goes, yeah. I go, you know her, right? And he's like, yeah, come on. So we checked out and she was checking out. She was wearing like sweatpants and no makeup. She just looked normal. And I think her name is Linda? Laura? It's an L name. And he's like, hey, Laura. And she was like kind of weirded out to be called up. But then she turned around and she saw him and she's like, hey. And she was really nice. And they were talking, just talking normally. And we knew what she did. But nobody's going to say, how are you? We just like, how are you? Where are you living now? All that. It was just that kind of weird ketchup stuff. But I couldn't talk. Like, I mean, it's funny. I mentioned that my friend with Erica Boyer and I was laughing about it. Ha, ha, ha. And I was standing there with Amber Lynn because she was because she was so beautiful. She was out of makeup and out in just regular clothes, and I was just like, there was something about. It was like seeing Batman without his costume. You know what I mean? Like, I can't explain it. Like, I was frozen because even Erica Boyer had tarted herself up to where you're like, oh yeah, she's still a porn star. I mean, she still puts on her fucking makeup with a goddamn trowel and a slingshot, which is fine. And tan and slinky and water. But Amber Lynn was just grabbing eggs. I mean, like, you know what she was buying ostrich eggs. It was the worst ever. Complete turnoff. Couldn't talk to her. But she's just buying like a bag of groceries and she's running out. And my friend just talked to her. And it seemed like forever, but it was probably only like 2 minutes of hi and bye. But I was frozen. Then he introduced me. He's like, hi, this is Mike. And I shook her hand and I'm like, hi. And she, the thing about her face, like, I have a type, as you'll notice when you look at people like Barbara Dare and Karen Summer and Amber Lynn. I kind of like hard-looking chicks in the face, like kind of they look like dudes almost. Someone told me that once. They go, "You look at chicks that look like dudes." I'm like, they don't look like dudes. They look fucking amazing. And they're like, but even, even Gianna, like they have that hard look, and I don't know what it is. There's something about it for me. And who am I kidding? I like ladies. I mean, there's no, but I do have a type that I can be identified with. Whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares. So, fuck. I can't do oh, fuck. What does it matter, right? She doesn't listen to the show anyway, really? All right. This happened. I can't say when. Could have been 10 years ago. Could have been 5 years ago. Could have been a week ago. Who knows when this happened? This story exists in time. It does not have a specific time frame other than to say it's around my birthday. That's all I'll tell you. And my wife, she says, hey, I have a surprise. We're going out. And I said, okay. And it was a Friday. She's like, we're going out. And I said, all right, that's fine. Because as we're going to the movies, what are we doing? She goes, well, we can go have dinner. We can go to the movie, whatever you want to do. But I have a place that we have to go to later. And I said, okay. So she drove. We went out. And we went out and had a nice time. We had some Chinese food. And we, went to a movie. And so then it's getting to be late. It's around like 12:30. And my wife, I said, are we, going home? And Karen's like, no. She goes, well, there's one more place we have to go. It's a surprise. And I said, okay. So we drive, and my wife starts to drive up into North Hollywood, into these industrial areas that are not good places to be in the daytime. Certainly not at night. But we start driving, and it's that thing where all of a sudden you're seeing buildings and people, and then you're seeing like one 7-Eleven and train tracks. And then giant like fiberglass plants, like that kind of fucking thing. And I'm like, where the fuck are we going? We're driving. And she knows exactly where she's going. Because, of course, my wife knows exactly where everything is in the world. She is the human GPS. So she's driving, and I'm not saying anything because because part of me also wants to be surprised. But then as we're getting deeper and deeper into gang territory, I figured that I should pipe up and say something. And so I asked her, hey, we're not going to die, right, on this excursion? This isn't... Are you coming back alone? Is that how this is working? And she's like, no, trust me. And so we drive. And then as she's driving, she does this thing that fucking drives me crazy. She reaches into the back seat. She'll do this thing. Look, ladies, I enjoy you and your company. Stop looking through your fucking purse while you're driving. Stop reaching for shit. I can do it. I'm right there. I'm useless. All right? I'm in second pair of hands. Let me help you out. But my wife, sure enough, she's got one hand on the wheel and she's reaching into the back seat under the seats and looking, and she's got a tiny car. Like, I mean, at the time it was a big car. Again, this does not exist in a time frame, folks. I certainly don't want to specify exactly when this might have happened. She may have had a truck. We may have been driving a truck. My wife was driving the space shuttle. So she's reaching in the back and she's trying to reach around, and I'm like, listen, I can find this. What do you need? And she's like, I can't tell you. I got to find it. I go, no, what do you need? And she's like, it's not here. I have to stop. I'm like, all right, that's fine. If you don't worry about the Crips asking us why we're in their territory, then fine. Are you wearing red? You can get out. So we pull up, and she pulls into a 7-Eleven. And I go to get out and she goes, no, stay here. And I'm like, look around, because there's dudes drinking outside of the 7-Eleven. There's dudes with like a 40, Latino dudes with the fucking cholos with the shirts buttoned up to their neck, and they're just standing there drinking. And my wife's like, stay here. And I go, no. And she's like, stay here. And she gets out. And so I didn't want to get out because of her telling me not to get out. Like, I felt stupid. Like, I didn't want to be her dad, but I also wanted to make sure these guys knew that I was ready. So I opened my door and I just put like one foot on the ground. Like, so I was ready to spring out at any given time in case there was trouble. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. My wife goes into the 7-Eleven, and of course nobody says anything to her. She goes in and does her thing, and nobody ever would, but you just have that weird thing where you're like, I got to keep an eye on her. So she runs into 7-Eleven. She starts talking to the counter guy, and she's looking around. She does a circle. And she comes back out and she's like, ugh. And she gets in the car and she goes, hold on, we got to go somewhere else. I'm like, is this the stop? Like, are we in a scavenger hunt? Tell me, I'll help you look. And she's like, no, relax. So we drive down the street all the way down to another 7-Eleven. And this one is like fucking deserted. She gets out and I go to get out and she goes, no, stay here. She runs in. She looks around and I see her. She makes a face and she grabs something and she goes to the counter, buys a pack of cigarettes. She walks out. And she's got an LA Weekly and a pack of cigarettes. LA Weekly is a free newspaper here in town. And she gets in the car and I go, you couldn't get cigarettes at the other 7-Eleven. You had to drive all the way down here for more cigarettes? And she's just like, well, no, I had to grab them and it's fine. It's okay because they didn't have my brand at the other place because she's very particular about her brand. At the time, she was smoking, what the hell was it? Something 100s lights. I don't know, because I had to ask for them so many times now I've forgotten, thank God, because she's moved on to different brands. But it was very important for her that Merit Ultima 100s, that's what she used to smoke. So I had to ask for them all the time. And they didn't have them in a lot of places. So this time she was able to find her brand. We get in the car, we start driving. And we just disappeared deeper and deeper into fucking train tracks and industrial buildings, and we're driving and I see nothing. And then all of a sudden out of the blue, I see like a glow. It's like pink neon. And it's on the horizon. So I'm like, all right, well, are we in Vegas already? I don't think we are. She continues to drive up this street, and then she comes to a side street and she turns right, and we had seen nobody. There were no cars. There was no traffic. There was nothing. She turns onto the side street. There's 100 cars parked. It doesn't look like there's any spot at all. It's like cars end to end. And that's because when we turned onto the street, on the right-hand side was the pink neon of the Deja Vu strip club. So I look, and in my head, I'm like, well, we're not going to the Deja Vu strip club, right? I mean, that's not happening in my brain. But my wife drives and she looks and she finds a parking spot and she turns around and she parks. She doesn't go into the parking lot because there's valet. She parks on the street. It's about 1:15. And I look at her and I go, and she goes, we're going here. And I should tell you this. I've told this story on here before. My wife and I have been to the strip clubs before. She went with me as kind of a fact-finding mission where she wanted to see what they were like. And the thing is, when you walk into a strip club with a lady, all the strippers immediately go for the lady. Yeah. Which was proven the first time my wife and I went to a strip club. Because we walked in and they zoomed over. And it's great for me because that's awesome. The girls were all hanging around. And I've told the story on here. They just started grabbing Karen and they're like sitting on her lap and they're pulling her hair. And Karen didn't know what to do. Like she was just kind of frozen. She was nice and she didn't freak out and run, but she just kind of sat there and just kind of smiled and was really nice and friendly, but didn't know how to act. And I think I told you this. She kept her hands at her sides the whole time. And I even got her a dance. Like I got her a chair dance off on the side. And she was sitting there with her hands at her sides and she was like a child getting his first haircut. That's what I said that's one of my favorite things I ever said in year one. I was telling the story because Karen is just sitting there and she's in lockdown with her hands and she's not touching or moving. And they're all pulling her hair and touching it and stroking her hair and they're hugging her and kissing her on the ear. And she's just like, Michael. Like you can see it. She's all weirded out. You know what she was like? Not only was she like a child having his first haircut, she was like Bernadette Peters in The Jerk when they serve her snails. And she looks and she sees the snails and she's like, and she's making these noises that I can't even make, like these squeaky, like, yeah. I can't even do it. So that's what Karen is like. She's just like she's freaked out by all these weird snails being served to her. Okay. So they're touching her and all that, but we wound up having a good time. It turned out fine. And we left and she was just like, like, wow, that was weird. And I'm like, yeah. So we park and I looked at her and I'm like, why we're going here? And she's like, yeah, happy birthday. And I'm like, you sure you want to do this? She's like, yeah, it's fine. We'll just go in. It'll be fine. I said, all right. So I get out of the car and she stays in the car. And this is nothing that drives me crazy. All right. She constantly takes forever to get out of a car. As I've talked about. Remember when the helicopter story, when she's backing up like super slow, she's in the car fucking around. I don't know what she's doing. So she's in the car fucking around. And I'm just standing there. And I'm confused, honestly, because I don't know if I'm supposed to be excited about this or how am I supposed to act when I go in here? You know what I mean? Am I supposed to be like, well, this is a wonderful trip, honey, and thank you very much, and kiss her on the cheek and then look at nothing else? Or am I going to a strip club? So she gets out of the car finally, and we walk in, and we go to the front. You got to pay to get in, obviously. And as we get to the front, she goes, here, take this. And she hands me a slip of paper. And I go to put it in my pocket. She goes, no, you need it. So we get to the register, and she goes, we have a coupon. And I look in my hand, and it's a 2-for-1 admission coupon to Deja Vu. That was what my wife stopped for, was the LA Weekly.
I love her.
So she could tear out the 2-for-1 admission. That's what she was looking for in the backseat. She thought she had one and didn't. So now she had to stop and get one. And she tore out a coupon for a strip club. And even worse than that, handed it to me on the way in like I was carrying it. So she goes, we have a coupon. And I look at my hand and fuck yeah, I got a coupon for a goddamn strip club. I don't want discount tits. And they put it out there as a marketing ploy, but the guy still gave me the look. And even if he didn't give me the look, in my head, he gave me the look like, you cheap fuck. You brought your girl here on a fucking 2-for-1 coupon to look at other girls. You're the worst person alive. And maybe he didn't think that way. Maybe he probably just looked at me and went, oh, good, another guy that we're going to steal money from tonight. But in my head, I felt like a dick. So I go, I'm not using this thing. She goes, no, you got to use it. You got to use it. I'm like, no, I'm not. And he goes, give it to me. And he rang us up, one admission, and he took the coupon, and they stamped our hands with essentially the chick from a mud flap of a truck, but gigantic. Like, I mean, like I had her picture, but it blocked out the rest of my hand. I looked like I was wearing a first baseman's mitt because it had changed the whole color and shape of my hand somehow. So I get a stamp, Karen gets a stamp, and we walk in, and again, when you walk in, it's literally just like, there's a woman here. So all, like, the strippers all come over, and it was packed, it was completely full. And there were, there's hot girls, of course. It's a strip club you're near Hollywood. Of course there's hot girls. And I don't know, like I said, when I went in the first time with Karen, it was mainly to show her what it was like. So I let her pick any girls. I was like, I go, who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to sit by? And she's like, I want you to get a dance. And I would be like, well, then you pick. Because the last thing, she's driving, all right? The first time I went to a strip club, I didn't want to make it weird for her at all. She was in control of the entire situation. If she would have said, I want to go, we would have gone. But I let her pick the girl that was going to give her a dance. I let her pick the girl that gave me a dance. I let her pick who she wanted to talk to. And she eventually loosened up, like I said. But then when we left, she was like, whew. So this time, now that I'm in with a coupon, I don't know the rules this time, but I do know the rules. I know exactly what's going to happen. She's driving. She brought me there, and she picks the girls. She does everything because that's the whole point. She has to enjoy the experience. She has to be interested in this, or else. I mean, because what am I going to do? I'm going to walk in and just start fucking hitting myself in the head with a shoe and going, "Woo, girls!" I mean, it's just stupid. So we walk in. And there's hot girls all over the place, and they all come over to Karen. They're touching her hair, and they're like, "Ooh, hey!" And they immediately, one of them takes her to the bathroom. They don't ask if we want to dance. They don't say hi to me. They don't push me out of the way. They just walk up to Karen, and they're like, "Oh, hi, hey," and they grab her and they take her into the bathroom. So I'm just there. I don't know, and believe me, I'm not talking to any girls. I'm not doing anything with Karen not present. It's not happening. So Karen comes back out of the bathroom. And she's like, you see any girls you like? And I'm like, well, you're in charge. I go, you pick anybody. She goes, those girls were nice. She goes, they're drinking in the bathroom. And I said, what? And she goes, they have vodka hidden in the ceiling. I'm like, what are you talking about? It like this weird fairyland in the woman's bathroom. These strippers have a bottle of vodka up and she goes, they're in there drinking, like the strippers, and they're bringing girls in and I drank. I had some vodka, and she's like, smell my breath. And I'm like, oh yeah, you did. So we're standing there. And I'm looking at girls, and she's looking at girls, and she goes, do you see anybody that you like? And I'm like, again, you're in charge. This is your thing. And in a strip club, a lot of girls, they'll kind of give you the cursory smile, and they'll be like, hey, you want to dance? And when you say no, they just move on. Because there's so many other people that they can talk to. The place is packed. You know, they show attention to girls, but if you're not going to dance or you're not going to get a dance, they'll walk off because they're there to make money. You know, they're not there to have a fucking chit chat with you. So we're standing by the bar, and I'm seeing, you know, it's strip club lighting, so you're seeing hot girls and there's some rough girls, but it's Deja Vu, so it's pretty top end, and there's really hot girls walking by. And then I see a girl, and you can always tell. I don't mean this in a mean way, but it might sound mean. You can tell by a body type, by skin even, how old someone is. Like you can see younger girls, because some girls may have been tanning for a long time. You can just kind of get that vibe. So there's a girl, and she's wearing like a leather, it's like a corset thong piece. I don't know how to explain it. It's like one piece, but it goes up through her ass and goes around her chest. You know, if she unsnaps one snap, the whole fucking thing's falling off. She's got her back to us. And she's bent over, so that's what I'm looking at. She's all bent over in a thong, and she's almost like 2 tables over from where we're standing. But I can see that she's real tan, and she's talking, and she stands up. She's got blonde hair. And then she's kind of talking. She's making small talk, and then she turns around to walk away, and she comes walking towards us. And as she gets closer in the stripper lighting, I can see there's the leather, and you can see her breasts are out. Blonde hair, and she may as well have been walking at us in slow motion, because when I looked up and I saw her boots and I looked all the way up her body and I saw her face, it was Amberlynn. And I was immediately in a Stater Brothers in 1990. Because again, I can be glib and I can talk. And I told you I used to go to strip clubs with guys, and I would be the guy who talked all fucking day to the strippers, and then they'd close, unfortunately. But I saw Amberlynn, and I like fucking froze. Because it was like, because there was nothing on the marquee outside. There was no sign that said Amberlynn was there. And there's a reason. It's because Amberlynn is about 18 years past her sell date for these kinds of clubs. So she's just there working. They must have advertised it somewhere, because as she comes walking up to start to talk to us, she goes, "Hi, I'm Amber." She immediately came for us. Like she turned around because we were standing there. She I guess she had worked the tables. Now she's going to work the bar. We're standing by the bar. She walks up and she goes, "Hi, I'm Amber." And she shakes my hand and she kisses Karen. And I go, "I know." And Karen goes, "I know too." And I looked at Karen like, what the fuck? And so we start talking, and we're talking to Amberlynn, and very friendly, very half naked, and very nice. And she's like, "Well, would you guys be interested in a dance or anything like that? You want to?" And Karen looks at me and she just goes, "Are you interested in a dance with Amber?" And I said, "Well, you're kind of running this, like you're in charge of this." And she goes, "Yeah, he is. Yeah." And she goes, "Well, okay, well, you know, they have the rooms on the side here and they're all kind of jammed up if you can wait." And Karen goes, "What's back there?" And there's the champagne room. And Amber's like, "Well, that's a whole other thing. We can go back there if you guys want." The management doesn't usually let couples go back with one dancer. They want you to bring 2 dancers, but I mean, I can probably clear it with them and talk to them if you want. And Karen goes, "Yeah, go ahead, see." I can't talk. Like I'm just sitting there. My wife is having a conversation with Amber Lynn and negotiating a dance for me, like not negotiating physical contact. The very fact that she's alive and the television has come alive and is wearing a fucking one-piece leather corset in my face is amazing. But the fact that my wife, the woman I love, is standing next to me and negotiating this deal. So Amber Lynn walks away to go talk to the manager, and I look at Karen and I go, what the fuck? How do you know who that is? And she goes, well, you told me that story before. And I said, what story? She goes, the story. Isn't that the girl you met when you were like at a Ralph's? I said, well, it was a different grocery store, but yeah. And she goes, yeah, she's from the 80s or something. She's like a porn star you like, right? And I go, yeah. She goes, yeah, I knew she was here. That's why we're here. Happy birthday. And I'm like, what? I wanted to, and I have so many questions. Like, how do you know where Amber Lynn is? How did you hear it? Where did you, I didn't, but at that point, I just shut the fuck up. I'm just like, thanks. Like, what do you say? So Amber Lynn comes back and she's like, yeah, it's all clear. Let's go. And she takes our hands, both of us, and she takes us into the back. And we go back in the champagne room, and I've been in the champagne room before by myself. So I know a little bit about some of the stuff that goes back there. I think I told you I did a bachelor party in Vegas once, and I walked out of the back with my belt around my neck. And my shirt like all fucked. And my friends are like, what the fuck just happened back there? I go, let's not talk about it, fellas. I got to go wash my hands. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I know what has happened in the past. I don't know what's happening. So we get back there and there's these little cubicles. They're really tiny. They only have one chair. And she looks, she goes, oh, well, those are full. She goes, but I don't want to be all crammed up in something like that anyway. She goes, come with me. And we go and by the way, deja vu, the most incomprehensible champagne room in the history of the industry. I mean, I half expected to come upon a room making fizzy lifting drinks. That's I thought I was going to get on a fucking boat and then we were going to drive through Suds and fucking Gene Wilder was going to sing a song. That's how crazy this maze was. There's no earthly way of knowing. So we're walking through hallway after fucking hallway. It reminded me of the haunted houses you go to at at Universal, those places where you're just turning and twisting and you don't know where you're at eventually. So finally we find this like corner office. It seemed like it was just a corner room. And I actually really liked it because there was nobody on either side of you. Because in the cubicles, there were people all over the place. She took us into this spot that it was deserted. There was nothing but a couch. And we go in and she's like, all right, well, let's get comfortable. And she tells us how much it is per dance, per song, per this, per that. But she also makes it known that she's not a clock watcher. She's like, you know what, I got to do what they say, because it's there. I'm here working for them. And I go, why are you here working for them? I thought, I don't think you did this anymore. Because it's so stupid. I'm trying to talk and make small talk and be glib, but at the same time, I'm with naked Amber Lynn and my wife in a dark place. So I go, I thought this wasn't are you acting again? I literally said that. Are you acting again? And she's like, no, I only do this one weekend a month or so, every once in a while to try to, I get some easy money and I get to come here and I know the guys, and she names like Sal and Lou and Tony and every other mobster who owns the fucking building. And she's like, I know them and they know me. And so I get to come in here and I'll work a weekend or two, once every couple of months. And she's like, and also there's that thing, the casual shorthandedness of the naked stripper that I've never gotten used to. Where they're just talking to you about baseball and you're staring at their fucking nipples and you're trying to make sense of the entire situation. And you're trying to be cool too. At the same time, you're like, oh yeah, of course, that makes sense. You know all these guys. Why wouldn't you stop by every once in a weekend? Hey, I've seen your vagina many, many times. You want to know what the most awkward of those times is? Right now. I can see your vagina now as you talk to me about this building. Oh, by the way, making it that much more awkward, my wife can see your vagina and can see me seeing your vagina. There's a lot of seeing going on and your vagina's at the center of it. So her vagina is the center of the universe at this point. I half expect Carl Sagan to come out and narrate it. I mean, it's crazy. So, I mean, I've got naked Amber Lynn arm's length away. Not even, and you know what? Yeah, an arm's length away because my wife's between us. All right. So Amber Lynn is sitting on the couch with us, and she's reclined back, and we're all reclined back, just like on a stoner couch talking. And she gives us the lowdown of the numbers and the prices and all that sort of stuff. So Karen has brought money. And so Karen pays for the first dance. So Amber Lynn gets up and she puts the money in and the song starts. And she just, Erica Boyer, Venom symbiote waters the shit out of both of us. And I'm laying there, and it's like my first instinct is like put my hands in the air, like hands are up. I'm not doing anything I'm not supposed to be doing because I can look and see Karen right next to me. I mean, not even next to me, on top of me. She's got a leg thrown over my leg, and then Amber Lynn's got legs entangled in all of our legs. We're tied in this weird Gordian knot. Like, it's funny. People put up a picture of Batgirl tied up with Robin and Batman on my fucking wall. That's what it's like. Me, Amber Lynn, and Karen are all tied up in this weird Gordian knot, and just like Amber Lynn is rolling, and it's funny. I said Erica Boyer was water-based lube. Fuck the water. It's not even there for fucking Amber Lynn. It's just lube. I mean, it is just slick, and it is working. And she is sliding all over me and climbing on me. And Karen kind of scooches over. So now it's just Amber Lynn on top of me. And Karen's just watching. And I see her watching me. Like, it's funny because the first time I took her, the biggest kick I got was watching her get dances because she got like two of them. And the girls were touching her. And she was just making this weird face. And I can't even imagine what I looked like because she's at... Because I got in a time machine and rolled back to 1990 with Amber Lynn all over on top of me. And then my future was still alongside me on the right-hand side. So Karen's just watching me, and I see her, and she's smiling, and Amber Lynn is all over me, and she's doing, I mean, she's not just doing stripper stuff, she's doing porn star stuff. Like, I mean, she's like kissing my neck, and she's into my ear, and that's a bad place for me. Like, that's, yeah, that's, you start biting places, and things are going to happen, and it's not going to be good for anybody in that dark office. And, but she's climbing on me, and then she pops the snap, and the fucking thing comes off, and she's completely naked. Except for her boots. And then she's on my lap. And she's facing me and she's bouncing and then she's grinding and she's got her hair in my face. And I got my hands at the sides. Because it's another thing too is when Champagne Room it's not a great place to get handsy because all of a sudden out of nowhere, some 400-pound dude named Tito is going to come and hit you in the fucking head. So you just don't do it. You can try. When I was single, you could try and see what you go as far as you could go, but now I don't. So I got my hands at my sides, and Amber Lynn is grinding on me, and I feel Amber Lynn. She grabs my left hand, and she grabs it, and she puts it on her ass. And I go to like take it off, except Karen grabs my right hand, and she puts it on Amber Lynn's ass. Because I looked and I saw her do it and she put my hand in there and she just starts laughing. So I'm just holding her while she's grinding on top of me and rolling and just smashed me into the couch. Cushions are coming off and I'm sinking into the fucking couch and she's on top of me and I don't care. I'm drowning in amber and thrilled. Song ends and she stands up and she's like, oh, and it's so funny. That's another thing. The ease at which stripper goes to businesswoman when a song ends. Like, how she immediately stood up. Because again, I'm sitting there, I'm flat into the couch. Well, parts of me are flat. And she was all over me. And Karen is just there smiling. And then Karen leans over and she kisses me. And Amber stands up and she's like, woo, wow, that was great. And she just starts talking again. And she starts talking to Karen about her blouse. And she likes what Karen, and then Karen's like, oh, she goes, so what do you do when you're not here? And apparently she's in real estate. So she starts talking about real estate with Karen sitting on the couch. And I'm just laying in the couch with a fucking heart on. I'm looking, and they're talking. They're just, gathering and talking. And she's still naked. Amber Lynn did not pick up the leather thing off the ground. She's still naked, having a chat with my wife. And I'm looking over. They're talking about real estate. My wife is sitting there, very nice. And Amber Lynn is naked, and they're having a talk. And I'm wondering if I'm awake. I really started to question whether or not I was asleep at that point. Because it just seems like something that would happen in a dream. I'm laying down. It's dark. Who knows? Who knows what's going on at this point? So Amber Lynn stands up. She's talking to my wife, and they're going to start more songs. And she's like, so she goes, do you guys want more dances? Or how do you? And Karen goes, yeah, definitely. So Karen pays again, and Amberlynn jumps on both. And I go, well, you're in this one. So I pull Karen over. And it's the same thing where Amberlynn is, she sits, now this time she sits on Karen, and I take Karen's hand and I put it on Amberlynn's ass. And she pulls her hand away and she starts laughing. And then, Amberlynn is like grinding on her and Karen won't even look. She's like looking in the air. And then Amberlynn takes Karen's glasses and puts them on. Which is way too confusing for me at that point because I'm a glasses guy and then it's my wife and then her glasses and then they're on the stripper. And now I'm really confused. So she takes the glasses off and then she gets up and then she climbs over on both of us. She's rolling and then Karen kind of scooches over and leaves it again to just me and Amberlynn. And Amberlynn then does a bunch of things, including the very famous stripper one of she goes ahead and she does like a handstand, but she puts her ankles on my head. So she's backwards. She's facing the floor and I'm sitting up and her ankles are back and she's wrapped them around my head and she's grinding and she's got her hands on my ankles. Okay. She's not on the floor. So, and then she kind of creeps up and she's got her hands like on my knees and she's grinding and then she starts backing up. And I'm there and I put my hands in the air again because I don't want to I'm not touching anything I'm not supposed to touch. I'm not even supposed to move and I don't move. So then because if I move forward, then it's like, hey, this is great. And instead I'm just letting it play out. Whatever happens, happens. I'm fucking Switzerland at this point. So I look over at Karen and while this is going on and she's smiling and she's laughing and then Amberlynn, climbs off of me and she sits in my lap and then she's got her back to me and she pulls her hands around and she puts them on her tits. So I'm literally I'm holding her naked. She's grinding in my lap and I'm holding her tits and I look over at Karen and Karen's just laughing. And then Amberlynn, she takes her hands off me and she leans back and then the song ends and she turns around and she kisses me on the forehead as if I were her son and she was tucking me in. And she stands up again, completely naked, just boots. And she starts talking to Karen and Karen's like, where did you get your boots? And they start talking about boots and perfume. And then Karen mentions that perfume that she got from the Hustler store that smells like strippers because it smells like candy. It's like some cotton candy smell. It just smells like strippers. They sell it at the Hustler store and they're talking about perfume. And then they're talking more about Amberlynn and where she lives in Orange County. And, and I'm just sitting there. I can't move. I don't want to move, quite frankly. Actually, I would like to move. I'd like to move about fucking 8 inches to my right and get involved, but I don't want to get sucked into a conversation about boots. I just want to go shh, 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 and cover their mouths with my hands and just go, nobody talks. Nobody talks. We can't ruin this with talk of footwear. But instead I sit tight in the couch, sunk in. And so she takes her boots off. And she shows them to Karen, and Karen's looking at the boots. They're amazing. They're like they're fucking knee highs, and they're leather, and they're fucking gorgeous, and they're really great, great, and they felt really great on my ears. All right, so I think I had boot burn for weeks, but that's fine. So they're talking, and I'm sitting there, and then Amber's like, "All right, well." And we've been back. I don't even know how long we've been back there. I mean, you know what? It might have been 20 years. So she stands up and she grabs the leather thing and her boots are off now. And she goes, all right. She goes, well, it was nice meeting you guys. She goes, unless do you want one more go around here or should I go back out? And Karen goes, yeah, let's do this one more time. So Karen pays for a dance and Amberlynn, her boots are off now. So now she can get really crazy. Because before, she was worried about stepping on me with her boots. And by the way, I wouldn't have minded. But she had like kind of chunky boots and like pointy heels. And so she was really worried about where she put them. But now the boots are off, which means the gloves are off, which means she can do whatever the fuck she wants. And I don't care. Like, I didn't care, but no, I really don't care. Because with her boots off, now she's got climbing skills. Now she doesn't care where she puts her legs. And let me tell you something. She shimmies up me like she's trying to get coconuts out of my hair. I mean, just clamps on me and she's grinding. And it's like, I can't even explain. She shimmies to the top of me like a fucking, like she was like Mowgli. All of a sudden she was Mowgli. Amberlynn in boots, porn star. Amberlynn without boots, Jungle Book. I mean, it was crazy. And she was down to the bare necessities. I mean, she was just all over me, fucking climbs up and she's on me and she's holding my arms, and she puts my arms on her tits, and then she turns around and she's on, and she does that thing again where she locks her ankles around my head, okay? And I look for Karen, and Karen's gone. Like, Karen's not on the couch, because I look to my right, and all I can see is, like, calf. Like, I've got Amberlynn's legs on my head, and I look to the right, and there's no Karen on the couch. And I look front, and all I can see is Amberlynn's ass. So she's on me with her legs are around me, and then she swings her body around to the couch, which means I have to swing my body around to where I'm lying down on the couch. And she's on top of me in a 69 position. So I'm on the couch, and all I see are knees and thighs and then a whole boatload of personality. Oh, my God. I mean, just straight up undercarriage right in my grill. And I am looking, and it's, again, thighs and knees and just haunches, and then fucking perfect garage. And I'm looking, and you know, there's a song by Van Halen called The Best Part of a Man. Well, I am staring directly in the best part of a Lynn. I mean, it is just, and I mean, it is there. And then she's not stopping. Like, she flipped me around, and then it's almost like she's beating the shit out of me at this point. She's wrestling me, and I'm fine with it. I don't care. I'm going wherever she wants me to go. Her fucking legs twisted me and put me down, and she's on top of me, and she's backing up. So she's on top of me, and you know what? All right, this is going to sound awful, but it's true. This is this is how I would describe it. It's like I was a horse. And she was riding. She was a jockey, because she's got both hands on the saddle horn, and she is moving her body rhythmically, like back and forth. Her hands, her whole body, and her body is bumping back toward my face. Like, I mean, it was like, you know those old movies where they tie the hero to a board and then he's heading for a saw? I'm tied to this couch, and Amberlynn's saw is just coming right for my face. And it's coming slowly, but it's still coming, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. And it's just knees and thighs and haunches and fucking personality, and her saw is coming right for me. And I can't move. My hands are pinned to my sides. She's got both hands on my fucking saddle horn, and she's riding for the finish line. Her saw is coming right for my face, and through it all, I'm looking. I see knees, haunches. I'm laying there, and I'm just letting her do whatever. I'm not moving at all. Saw is coming right for my face. She's riding for the finish line. And I look up, and just through thighs and ass, I just see my wife's face as she bends over and looks at me on the couch. And I just went, ha! Like, I couldn't help it. I was like, ha! Because it was like she walked into a dream. Like, I was having this dream where Amberlynn's on top of me, and literally, I'm not even kidding. I'm an inch away from getting torn apart by that saw. And my wife leans over and looks and just smiles and looks at me. I just see her glasses, the lights reflecting in her glasses, and she looks, and I just go, ha! And Amberlynn kind of slows down the ride, because apparently we've hit the finish line. The saw miraculously stops an inch from my face. And Karen looks at me and she goes, "You ready to go?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm good." And Amberlynn rolled off of me, off to the side of the couch, and I sat up, and I couldn't move. I couldn't walk at that point. I mean, I'm not walking out of the champagne room at that point. And I can't move. I'm on the couch. And so then Amberlynn puts her boots back on and her leather corset while she and my wife talk about makeup. And I'm sitting there trying to process everything that has happened. Looking at it's weird enough watching my wife talk to Amberlynn, let alone having the vision in my head of looking right through Amberlynn's thighs into my wife's eyes. And Amberlynn gets dressed and could not have been more pleasant. Hugged my wife goodbye, gave her a kiss, came up and hugged me, said happy birthday. And Karen tipped her out. She walked out. And I'm just sitting there. And she goes, "You ready to go, honey?" I go, "Yeah." And Karen puts her hands out, and she has to actually help me off the couch. I'm like so buried deep in that couch. And by the way, I can't even imagine what blacklight horrors you would discover if you went in there with a Cal news team and tried to figure out what it was. But I can tell you I didn't contribute to it. And we get up. and I'm staggered. Like I can't even. I had weak legs. I won't lie. I had like fucking because the whole situation. I don't know what it was, and also, I mean, I'd been fucking hard for an hour, and I stood up and I was like kind of groggy and it was dark and I didn't know where I was. I felt like a child. I wanted a drink of water. I just wanted to go home. So I'm rubbing my eyes. I'm like, She's holding my hand. I'm walking outside, just groggy and delirious. And I'm sure when I walked out, everybody's like, what the fuck happened to that guy? So I walk out and there's Amber Lynn on the floor talking to guys. And I'm not going to lie. I was jealous. Like I was pissed. Like, really? You go that? Yeah, we just had a thing for like an hour. You were mine. You were with me and us. But sure, she's out she's working. That's the whole point. So we go to walk out and we left. Like literally we were there for 5 minutes, met Amber Lynn and went in the back. Walked out and I'm in a daze. Like, I mean, I just like my wife's leaning me by my hand, like I said, rubbing my eyes. And I walked past the front. I didn't even care that I'm sure they looked at me as disheveled, hard-on coupon guy, and just... I don't give a fuck. Believe me, I got my money's worth. So I go walking out, and then you hit that night air. You walk out, and it's kind of like warm because, like I said, it's July, and we get to the car. I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted a nap. At that point, I climb in. Karen goes to drive, and it's so funny. It's 2:30 in the morning, still packed, because they're open till 4, I think. So she starts to drive. And I also, at the same time, I just want to nap, but I got to stay frosty because I forgot we're in the middle of Jets and Sharks territory. So I don't know, any second now, Officer Krupke's going to come out and a dance is going to happen. So I got my head on a swivel for that. We're driving. I'm looking. And I don't know what to say. I don't, it's thanks. I mean, it's weird. It's like, it was just the strangest thing. And then Karen finally said, did you have a good time? And I said, yeah. I go, how long did you know you were going to do that? She goes, it's not important. And I said, okay. And she goes, you can't talk about that on the podcast. And I said, what? She goes, no, you can't. I go, why? She goes, just don't. Because I don't want you to talk about it. It's not, it's not something that you should talk about. I said, but I got to tell a story of my birthday. She goes, well, tell him something else. I said, all right. But now I'm going to spend 2 hours bitching about how you didn't get me a cake. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You can be my friend on Facebook at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. Follow me at Twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. You can be friends with our friend David Hernandez, who does all the music and artwork for this show at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. You can be our famous producer, Lily Von Stupp's friend, at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. You can follow her at Twitter on 2 accounts, Twitter.com/MNTs and Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp. And if you want to write her a personal note and find out exactly what's wrong with anybody in burlesque who's named after a snake, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com. Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Tease every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. It's the longest running, hottest, sexiest, most amazing burlesque show in the history of Los Angeles. Actually, in the history of California. Fuck that, in the history of ladies. Since the invention of hips. It's an amazing show. And I happen to know the producer of that show. She produces this show as well. Her name is Lily Von Stupp. Hey, Lily.
Hi, Michael.
How are you?
I am good.
I like your shirt.
Why, thank you.
I do like that shirt. And so,
You don't like clowns.
huh?
And yet you don't
Yeah, but that's it. She's wearing a shirt, and it says, McDonald's, and it says, I'm loving it. Well, it is It the Clown dressed in a Ronald McDonald jumper, and it says, I'm loving it. Come on, it's a great shirt, right? And who says I don't like clowns? I love them.
You hate
God, I love them. They're so great. How was the Monday Night Tease this past week?
It was wonderful.
Really?
Yes.
I understand there was a bucko at the door who got a little dust up with you.
There was.
Nobody likes that.
People just don't seem to understand that they're not special.
Yeah. Look, who are you talking to? I blew myself in the middle of this show. What are you talking about? Well, people will do that. As people, I can attest that I will definitely do it myself. Well, good for you. And it was a good show. Was it a theme? I don't remember if it was.
No, Dizzy was hosting, and it was awesome. She was hysterical.
The DVD. Good to see her. So this week is a theme show?
Yes.
It is? What would it be?
It is Dr. Zombo and his horror girls.
Where did you get the name Dr. Zombo from?
That is Buster Balloon's Halloween alternate character.
Really?
Yes.
You know where he got it from?
Yes. I
Okay.
can't remember now.
I know where he got it from. When I saw it listed, I was like, oh, Zombo. Because that's literally, I wouldn't watch The Munsters if you were threatening to kill my family.
That's right.
But that is the one episode that I like and actually remember. Because Eddie liked a horror movie host named Zombo, and then he got to go on a show, and then he tore off all of his Zombo stuff and proved that he was a fake and a fraud. Because he was disappointed when he saw Zombo putting his makeup on. And I think Zombo is played by, not Johnny Dark, but one of those guys, one of those old school comedy guys. Yeah. So when I saw Zombo, I immediately went, oh, I know who that is. So it's a kind of a creepy Halloween before Halloween.
Yeah, it's the first of 2 Halloween shows we're doing.
Nice. That's great. And are you performing or anything like that? But in your next Halloween show, which we'll talk about next week. Exciting. I can't wait to hear about it. Do you have any more burlesque stuff you want to plug coming up for you dancing or appearing?
No.
There are shows available right now at brownpapertickets.com. You can look up Lily Von Stupp. You can look up Monday Night Tease. And there are, I think, 5 different shows available. Tickets are available for all of those shows, including the Prince show in November. Erotic Titty. And last week I had a special offer where I said, hey, the first 4 people to buy tickets get to sit at Mike Schmidt's table and I get to buy them tacos. Those tickets are gone, folks.
Oddly, it was people who don't listen to the show.
People who have no idea who I am.
Bought the tickets so they get to sit with
And they want to sit with me at a table, which is good. It's fine. I'm looking to expand my audience. You know who's coming? Country County Comment Guy. He's going to sit with me. He bought the earbuds. He bought those tickets before he even knew anything about me. He's like, I'm in. Well, good. I'll be excited to meet him. So that'll be fun. And again, tickets are still on sale. And if you want to sit with me, you can still sit with me or sit at the table next to me. Tell Lily you're doing so. I don't know if I can buy the whole world tacos, but I'll look forward to having you out there. But it should be fun. That's a great show. A ton of shows on sale right now at brownpapertickets.com. Look up Lily Von Stupp. Look up Monday Night Tease. And like I said, Prince in November. Other shows also available. Halloween show. So go ahead and pick up tickets now and have a good time at the Monday Night Tease, my favorite show in Los Angeles. Remember to go to facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. Right now there are many pages to bring me to your town: Detroit, San Antonio, Montreal, Hampton Roads. This is my favorite thing I ever wrote on Facebook. Because I read a little blurb for everything every week to plug the pages, and I wrote Hampton Roads, book my show. I don't even remember the rest of it, but it was fucking awesome. And to the point where the next week I actually wrote, I'm not going to top the John Denver thing from last week, so I can't bother to be doing anything here. It made me laugh. And then everybody booed it. Boo. Hampton Roads, Eugene, Oregon also wants me to come to town. All these different places. I've had other people inquire about other places in Texas and things like that, which is nice. I have to tell you, the live dates are kind of at a premium right now because finances and all that sort of stuff. Eventually I'll start a Kickstarter for London, as I've mentioned, or possibly an Indiegogo, or possibly I'll just stand on the street with a sign. I don't know, but I'll figure out a way to get to Europe and all of those places. But it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And so if you want me to come to your town, or if you want me to come to one of those towns, make sure you like the page so I know that there's some support and I can look around. I have been trying in Detroit and places like that, but right now I will say it's pretty dead on that front, except for the 2 cities that are on sale right now at brownpapertickets.com. Philadelphia next week. That's the October 18th show. It's a Friday, 8 o'clock at the Latvian Society. Hey, Philadelphia, buy some tickets because right now you have not. And I'm coming anyway. I mean, I already got airfare and a hotel, but it'd be nice to have a crowd, or at least a group of people to speak with, rather than a smattering or a couple. It's getting to the point now where literally, I'm not joking, I will just be able to sit in the audience and regale you with tales, like as we We go around campfire style and exchange some sort of fucking information. Either way, whatever story I tell, it's going to wind up with somebody with a hook and a bunch of children running into the woods. So buy tickets, Philadelphia. That'd be great because St. Louis right now has sold more than you. That's right, St. Louis, which is November 16th, I think. It's a Friday. Tickets are available at brownpapertickets.com as well as the dates. That's the Soulard Hall in St. Louis, Missouri. And I've had people write me about going out and doing stuff and hanging out. Still trying to finalize my plans for St. Louis, getting that all squared away. I don't know when I'm coming to town and hotel and airfare and everything. But I do have, no, actually I do have that squared away for them. I got to sit down and take stock of my life because I told you I double bought Milwaukee airfare. I'm an idiot. So I need to get this squared away. And that's the good thing about having no live dates. I don't buy double airfare or cars or anything like that. So St. Louis is on sale. Philadelphia is on sale. Philadelphia is next week, so if you could buy some tickets, that would be great. I'd appreciate it. And also St. Louis is in a month, but still doesn't mean I don't want you to buy tickets, so go ahead and buy them right now. You can go to the Joe Business page at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Available on sale there now are autographed prints of this show, any of the artwork you would want, the explosions of ids, or the actual artwork from the shows. We will autograph it by myself and the artist Dave Hernandez and our friend Lily Von Stupp. That's 3 autographs, friends. Those are on sale right now. T-shirts, Scarboy and Red Panda. No, Scar Panda and Red Boy. Those are available right now at Joe Business on the MikeSchmidtComedy.com page. Mugs from Zazzle.com. There's Fireboy and Thorgar and Yeep. Those are available. Also, the tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds that I told you were endorsed earlier by Country County Comment Guy. He loves them. He swears by them. I don't know if he bought a cock ring watch. Oh, my God, he should have. Country County Comment cock ring watch guy? Oh, my God, that's perfect. Country? Yeah, Country County fuck, who knows? I held it together this long. If it falls apart late, that's fine. That's on me. So that's available. Let's see, mugs and earbuds and cock ring watches and shirts and prints. And and also the download sets, folks. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, and Year 4 of this show are available. And also, the entirety of the run is available as the Podcast of the Caribbean set on Stranger Mike's, Between Two Schmitts, and The Curse of the Black Schmidt. All of those are available right now together. You will get 4 for the price of 3, and you will do it right now. And I will send it to you in your mailbox, and you will enjoy it. Well, not your real mailbox. You will get it in your email box. I can't mail you the download sets. That's weird. Don't make send flash drives to everybody. Why? You're tearing me apart. That's the second James Dean reference in this show. 2 different James Deans, though. Although I'm betting Sal Mineo would have slept with both of them, quite frankly. Who can blame him? Look, a show is not a show unless I reference Sal Mineo. We all know that. I just include that there for Country County Canyon question guy. Fuck. God damn it. Country County Cockring question comment guy. That was what it was. Jesus, no questions. The only question is, why do I keep beating this fucking bit into the ground? Remember, folks, here's a blast from the past. Let's throw this at you. Never Not Funny Season 1 is available at aspecialthing.com in their store. You can order Never Not Funny Season 1. If you want to hear what it was like when I was actually talking in a room with other people, and that's if you want to, let's put it this way. If you want to pay to hear what it was like when I was talking in a room with other people, go ahead and pick up Never Not Funny Season 1. If you'd like to hear me talking in a room with other people for free, go ahead and download Scarborough County, which is from this week. Scarborough County came out Tuesday, but it's available right now if you download that show. It was me and Randy Sklar and Jason Sklar, and Engineer Frank was there. Good-looking Frank, good-looking kid. And the always popular Dan Van Kirk was there, harnessing all the stories. We had a great time. So Scarborough County is available right now for your download pleasure. Go ahead and pick it up. And also remember to check out the Sklar's new website. I don't know, Absolute Sklars? I'm not sure. But they renovated it, and they're very proud of it, and why not? Let's get a few more people over there. And don't forget to see Jimmy Pardo and Mike Toomey this weekend in Chicago. I'm going to plug everything that's not me. Fuck, get the plugs over with, stupid. Also, if you want to buy a book that has writing by me inside of it, you can get the Comedy Film Nerds book that is available right now at comedyfilmnerds.com or amazon.com. Amazon.com are just books, but comedyfilmnerds.com, you can get autographed books. And if you'd like me to specifically autograph a book for you, buy the book from them and then let Chris or Graham know via email that you want Mike Schmidt to sign it, and I'm happy to do so. I signed some. They had them on hand, and I don't know if they sold them all yet or not, but they haven't called me because they're busy with the Podfest. Hey, did I say the Podfest? Folks, the Los Angeles Podcast Festival is this weekend, As I mentioned, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Shows galore, amazing lineups. Greg Fitzsimmons, Aisha Tyler is going to be there, Jackie Cation. Andy Dick has a show for some reason. Jimmy Pardo, Todd Glass, Graham Elwood, and Chris Mancini with Comedy Film Nerds. Dave Anthony and Greg Behrendt are walking the room. The Naughty Show with Sam Tripoli, Jim Jeffries, and Eddie Ift. Amazingly funny people. The Sklar's are going to be doing a live version of their show. Go check all of them out. Right now, if you go to lapodfest.com, you can get tickets for individual days. You can get tickets for shows. You can actually get 3-day passes available to see as many shows and meet as many people as you want. Go ahead and check everything out. Everyone is very accommodating. That is one thing I will tell you about podcasting. Everyone is very happy to hear from the people who listen to them, and they do want to meet them and tell them, thank you, because we do. This whole festival is put together to thank you guys for listening to our shows. So come on out. There will be merch available from every single show at one single merch table. I'll have shirts there. You can buy Scar Panda and Red Boy there. Those will be great. And please remember to go and get the passes right now at lapodfest.com and tickets. Those are on sale and will be on sale for quite a while, or at least for 2 more days until the festival. Remember, Friday from 5 to 7 is the meet and greet at the pool. It's like a big extravaganza kickoff thing. I'm going to be there for sure. Our friend Lily Von Stupp is hoping to get there in time. I hope she shows up too, or else I'll have nobody to talk to. So come and meet us there between 5 and 7 at Poolside. Afterwards, I think I'm going to check out the Sklar's, see what's happening. And if you guys are like, hey, dude, let's get something to eat. Because I should tell you this. I just got a note today for some people from Boston who are flying out. Our friend Mary, who actually wanted to see me in Boston, but could not come and see me because she had tickets to the Max Fun Con, which is our friend Jesse Thorne's extravaganza. But I guess she's coming to town now, and she, along with her friend Jane, who wrote me today, will be in town for the podcast festival. And they inquired as to whether or not I wanted to hang out and get something to eat or do something tomorrow night, Thursday. Unfortunately, I've been claimed already for tomorrow. Our friend Heidi from Indianapolis is coming to town with her friend, and I owe her sushi because they got me sushi in Indianapolis, so she's coming to Katsuya with me. And actually, Lily was going to come, but unfortunately cannot now. So unfortunately, Thursday I am tied up. But Friday, if you guys want to hang out or do something, let me know. If you want to get something to eat, or I don't know. Here's the only thing I ask. If people want to do stuff, I'm doing stand-up Saturday night, and I'm doing my show Sunday. After my show Sunday, I'm probably going to go see Jimmy's show. And then after that, if people want to hang out, I'll be around. If you guys want to hang out during the Podfest, the stand-up show Smash Up or whatever it's called, what is it? Pod Smash? That's what it's called. That's fine. Let me know. I'll be doing a set, but also recognize the fact that Saturday I'm going to be freaked out because I haven't done stand-up in fucking forever, and now I got to go up on stage in front of 1 million people and go up and hope to God I can trip through it. So that's the thing. You guys all come to the Pod Smash show and make sure that nobody boos me. How about that? And then Friday, like I said, I'll be there for the 5 to 7 thing, and then I might check out the Sklar's, and I'll be around if anybody wants to get dinner or hang out or do something. That'll be fine. I'll be here. But the only thing I ask is you don't make me the Sherpa of this. Don't make me the guy who don't go, hey, you want to do something? I go, yeah. And they'll go, great. What? Like I got no fucking clue. If you want to hang out and get something to eat, that's great. If you got an idea of a place, that's fine. I know it's my town, and usually when it's my town, I call the shots. But down in Santa Monica, I don't have a fucking clue. And also, I don't know how many people you got in your party, and I don't know what you like or who's allergic to shellfish. I mean, I don't know anything. So if you have a general idea of what you want to do, if you want to hang out or you want to go somewhere, I'm cool with it. I'm in. Friday will be great because I don't work Friday night, and I'll be available all night. But then Saturday I've got a show. Sunday I've got a show. After the show, after Jimmy's show, whatever. We'll figure it out. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I never thought this day would come when we would all be together in one place doing podcasts. I never knew I'd be doing a podcast. Folks, I never knew that I would ever talk to you ever in my life. I never knew I'd be talking again. Honestly, I thought I would never speak again after, I took a vow of silence when I was 13 years old. because I have a tone. Because you know why? Because I talk quickly and I don't fucking think. That's why. I think that's what it means when you have a tone. Is you don't fucking bother to care what comes flying out of your goddamn mouth. I try to grow the show and I want people to get on board and they're like, I listen to it and you talk too fast. Really, I talk too fast. How the hell else am I supposed to cram all of this into a small 3-hour window? Dude, there's no script. I just go with this shit on the fly. It makes me laugh. If it doesn't make you laugh, turn the fucking station. And by turn the station, I mean turn the wheel of your car right into a guardrail. Jesus fuck. Hey, where are you going, boy?